Ladies and gentlemen and in-betweeners, on the speaks, on the rocks for Celebrities and Cocktails Mix, relationship expert, author, and TV personality, Patti Stanger, the Millionaire Matchmaker, is here. She's going to set us right. We also have author, executive producer, and sassy pants, Josh Sabarra, and me, your favorite host with the sassy most. So raise a glass and let the drinks begin.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Buttons and bows. Am I on? There I am. Buttons and bows and pantyhose. On the Rocks podcast, the place where we're too glam to give a damn. Today's show is brought to you by Just4.fans, the top award-winning site setting the gold standard for fans to connect with their favorite adult stars. Gay, straight, trans, whatever you want. Sign up for free at Just4.fans. Valentine's Day is just around the corner. I am so excited. And all my listeners are like, what? You hate people. Yes, I do. But February 15th, half off chocolate? 60% off chocolate? Yes, please. P.S. I want to know why we're supposed to give chocolate and take our dates out for dinner, and then we complain when they put on a few pounds. Doesn't make sense. We're going to get to that, though. Patty's just like, what is happening? Kurt, hello, our engineer, Kurt.
How you doing?
Do you have a pun for us today? Make it snappy.
I always have a pun for you.
Okay, hurry up.
What do you say to your single friends on Valentine's Day?
Too bad. You didn't get out there for the year. You didn't join a dating service. You didn't join a matchmaker. You didn't go on Tinder. You suck, you fuck, nothing.
No, I would say come drink with me. What?
Well, happy Independence Day.
Patty's like, no.
I had a lot of caffeine. By the way, can I just give you guys props on the best opening of a podcast? If there was a category,
thank you.
You guys win. I mean, Betty Davis, my favorite actress of all time.
Oh my God.
And for those people who don't know what that is, look those sound bites up.
Well,
that was pretty clever. That was clever.
The thing I think is funny is that he mentioned at the beginning Buttons and Bows, and we were talking about Judith Krantz and I'll Take Manhattan, and that was the name of the magazine in I'll Take Manhattan was Buttons and Bows,
God,
wasn't
Josh, you were like you.
I
mean, you were like,
we
need a gay episode of you.
He's like the gay Wikipedia. He's like the gay Wikipedia.
Right?
He like tells it's like no matter what, it's like, yes, George Washington's gay butler from 1779. He knows all about him. We're going to talk about so much on the show. I'm so excited. But real fast, last week I had the fabulous opportunity to co-host former Real Housewife of Beverly Hills, Brandi Glanville, on her Unfiltered podcast. We chatted all things Bravo, and I mean we chatted everything. Very candid conversations. Tamara and Vicky got fired. We also talked about who the most awful housewife is.
Who is it?
You have to listen to the podcast, but it's no surprise.
Is it LV somebody?
No. But we talked about
because
that.
It's not
Does
really,
it start
it's
with
not
the letters?
really true. It's not
Actually, you would not agree with this because you're friends.
I really like, I'm Friends. Is it on Housewives of Beverly Hills, Orange County, New York? OC.
And it was titled The Worst Housewife Ever to Meet in Real Life and as a person. But you have a different perspective.
But who voted on this? The Academy
The world.
Does Andy agree with this? Because Andy's really
I don't know if Andy agrees.
He's the king.
Yeah, but he's been really PC lately because he has to be with all these lawsuits coming around.
What he said about the mob is really true. I will agree with this. They're like the mob, and you can't, they're always pulling you back in, U.S. Steel, Godfather. Because the truth of the matter is everybody loves being on Bravo. It's kind of like high school.
Yeah.
It's like you got thrown out of the cool clique, and you're in the, now you realize they're mean girls, and you have to sit at the table that nobody wants to eat lunch with you. But eventually, your star comes back up.
Well, and then it's the prime opportunity to start your business. Look at Bethenny Frankel. She was the poorest housewife in history for the franchise, and now she can buy any one of them.
Is that true?
She was so broke she could barely go on the trips. I'm telling you. And there was a
scene because she wasn't a trophy wife.
She wasn't. And she was trying to sell her little muffins at the market by herself, and it was like an empty market. She's like, want a muffin? And now she could buy us all. It's ridiculous.
Look, she has to be the brightest housewife in history. There is nobody brighter than Bethenny.
I love that we're just handing out awards.
And
I know, like, we're with the Patti Stanger Bravo Award.
and being friends with her at a period of time, it is true. There is nobody more brilliant than Bethenny.
But relationship, and we're going to talk about this because there's this dichotomy. Amazing business people, and I think maybe I'm putting you in the bucket, but like we focus on her career and we excel in so many things, and relationships, we suck.
It's Oprah. It's Oprah. Oprah said this a long time ago, who is my hero. Okay, do not penalize her for the Russell Simmons thing. Okay, we don't know all the facts. For all I know, he could have said, I'm going to break your family's legs. We don't know all the facts, okay? So everybody's freaking out about that whole documentary thing. I still love my O. And she said, can you really have it all at the same time? And that is the problem. So when you excel in one area, your health goes. If you excel in your health and your love, your business goes. Can we really all be J-Lo? That is the question.
But by that logic, can we really all be Oprah? Because she has Stedman and she has her career. She sort of has it all.
But she had,
oh my God,
she had a million fucking problems. She had weight problems. She was raped as a child. We don't know what's going on with Stedman and Gail and who's fighting for the bed. We don't know all that stuff.
I was just going to say, she has 2 successful relationships. She has a boyfriend and a girlfriend.
She has a best friend that I would die
friend,
for. Gail is the fucking coolest best friend.
She's
Stedman is spiritual. Who finds a hot, sexy, black, spiritual man in America? She finds it because how can you not love Oprah? She's like,
I agree.
She's
I
like,
love Oprah.
She's like a never-aging
And I love
Yoda.
bread, too. She and I have that in common.
Love bread.
And by the way,
love
she
bread.
has the best decorating. She loves to eat. She's my foodie god. You know, I go on and I love her O magazine because I always get,
And it's always so odd. I look every month to see who's going to be on the
me
cover.
too. And as Adam Glazer,
And
it's
it's
like
always
with his fashion, Adam, and then Gail's little top 10 tips. Like all these really cool things are in there.
No, it's
spiritually enlightening.
But the covers are always interesting.
But I do miss her acting. Remember how good she
Oh,
is
she
as
is
an actress?
bomb. Nobody.
Well,
nobody
I have to say I worked on the movie Beloved.
Give us the scope.
I'm only going on The Butler because The Butler was my favorite.
She was great in The Color Purple.
I thought it was okay.
I thought
Oh
she was,
my God, she
but
was
she was
amazing in
great.
The Butler.
It's okay.
I didn't love the movie, but
Did you
I thought
love An
she was great
Alcoholic
in
Go?
it.
An Alcoholic Go is great.
And she was great in The Color Purple.
Oh, she was amazing in The Color
amazing.
Purple. Amazing.
And I thought she did an amazing job in Beloved. I just didn't love the movie.
Yeah. But remember when Whoopi Goldberg took all these years off of acting and we
I
missed
love
her
my
acting?
Webster.
But then
I
she
love
came
my
back
Webster.
to act and it was like, oh. Like, did she forget how to act? Like that?
Well, I think some of it was the material she was being offered
That's
after
true.
being away for a while.
Okay,
I mean,
all right.
I don't
Because
know.
if you look back at, like, even in the 90s, like Boys on the Side, if you go up through, I
Yeah.
mean, she has, like, a good body
Who
of work.
cares? She doesn't have to work. She's
I was
amazing.
like,
And
I
by
don't
the
think she's
way,
worried.
to be like a talk show host like Oprah and go to acting is not easy. Like everybody
No.
thinks, oh yeah, you just push a button
Right.
and there you go.
Well, and
To
you
be-
know.
Well, I know because if like. It's one of those things like she's so emotionally connected to her audience,
Mm-hmm.
and there has never been anyone to this day in talk. Although I will give props to my Kelly Clarkson. Sorry,
Yeah.
She's doing a
I'm
great
a
job.
Casey
She's
fan.
killing it. Ellen is like, oh, shit.
I knew that was going to be a hit from the moment she got her pilot. I said she's going to come out singing. She's going to sing other covers. She's going to interview people like she wants to know. You know,
Yeah,
it's
no,
very
she's-
rare you find somebody.
I didn't
like
think
that.
it was going to be a success, to be honest,
I knew.
because we have
I knew.
amazing people come out with talk shows, and it just doesn't take for some
Because
reason.
she-
Bethenny's talk show. I was in the audience for one of her first tapings.
Well, I think
who else should have talked
because
show?
she
And it didn't
shouldn't
work.
have been in. Okay, here's what I would have done
Okay.
if I had Bethenny. If Bethenny wanted a great talk show, I would have done food, and wellness, which is her category, and she went into relationships, and I didn't think she felt comfortable there. I think they maybe forced her into a category that wasn't her own. She's foodie. I want to know how to be skinny. I want to know how to do yoga. I want to know wellness, and now she's getting into fashion.
And they made her such an idea of what they
not
thought
her fault.
Bethenny
It's
was.
not her fault.
It was called Bethenny, but it was not her show. And even seeing behind the scenes and all that.
I was on there, so I know.
Oh, okay. It wasn't even her personality. She was like a Disney version of Bethenny. That's not who we want. And that's why I think Kelly Clarkson is working.
But like, here's
She's
the
being
thing:
her.
she is rep by the biggest people in country music. She is got a voice. Her and Pink are my
Yeah.
gods. They have and Adele. They have voices like
they
nobody
sing for
has.
real.
And they sing for real. There's no fucking auto tune.
Yeah.
If they fuck up, I watched video where Casey got on and she had pregnancy brain. She goes, and she was singing for some charity, and she goes, okay, I don't remember the lines. Give me the,
Yeah.
you know, it was like one of those things where she was real, and that's what I love of it.
And I think that's what people ultimately respond to is the authenticity.
Yeah.
And she's been the underdog. Kelly Clarkson's been
Oh, I was
from
there.
chubby to thin to chubby. I mean, people
I
love
was
that.
in Justin and Kelly.
I watched that. I went
Wait. I asked WME for tickets to her first concert, and I went, and I got backstage, but she wasn't there. But I got to meet. Was it with I don't know if it was one of the major singers at that time. I got to meet who knew her, and I just said, and then everyone's like, "Why are you at this concert?" And then I recently went to her concert.
But back when she was singing A Moment Like This.
Yes. Are you kidding? I wait for that song.
Of course.
I cry and
Some
wait.
people wait a lifetime.
It's like Shania's song, her wedding
me.
song. I wait for those girl moments. I love them.
Okay, but what happened to Justin, by the way?
He was doing Broadway.
Where is he now?
I actually saw him in.
He's
he was
actually
in Women on the.
super cute.
I saw
He
him.
has a
adorable.
Coke commercial or some kind of big commercial.
Yeah, but he was in Women on the Verge with your favorite, Patti LuPone.
Oh, I met her. I met her through Fran
Well,
Drescher.
so-
We're taking a break from Patti LuPone.
I spent
Alex-
a whole day with Patti LuPone. I have pictures on my
Well,
Instagram.
Alexander
Patty,
has
I have
better
flown
It's
to
Patty
different.
and Patty.
With an I.
Yeah,
That's right, and we
that's right.
loved each other.
It's Patty.
It was Patty. I told Fran,
Patty Square.
get out of the way, Fran. I got a new girlfriend
Patty,
in town.
I have flown to different states to fly in, see her concert,
I
and
believe
fly
it.
out. Illinois,
Girl.
New York, Miami.
Girl,
I've gone.
She is Broadway.
Right,
She is
but
Broadway.
I've taken a step back.
Why?
She's gotten bigger than her roles
Oh my
and her
God!
storytelling.
In Pose. Hello, mean. She was.
But she was Patti
not
LuPone
Imelda
in
Marcos.
Pose.
What's the one with the hotels?
Oh,
Leona Helmsley.
Leona
She
She was
Helmsley.
Leona Helmsley
She
in
was.
Pose.
But it
That's
didn't make sense because then she sang for the AIDS patients. Like, it didn't make sense.
Okay, well,
She's become too big
look,
for her own britches.
my assistant and I, Nathan, are big Broadway whores. We go where the Broadway goes.
Perfect.
And we say it like it is. If the show sucks, the show sucks.
Good. Well,
And there's
we
a
know you
lot
say
of
it like it
shows
is.
that are on Broadway.
Yes, we know.
That got kicked this last year that should have been kicked on day one.
Yeah.
But I will not speak their name because
Mean
they
Girls.
need to make the money back, so I ain't saying
Right.
it.
Oh, and you
And it's
just
hard
heard.
when somebody, you don't want to, like, I always feel like people pour, regardless of what the creative
They
output is,
they
people
overhype
put a
it.
lot into it, though. People work hard.
There
and
is
I don't
only
like to
one
shit
show
on their
to
work.
run to, and that is Dear Heaven Handsome.
Well, you
That is
obviously
my
miss
show.
Hadestown.
I haven't seen it
Which
yet, so
is
I can't.
worth-
I haven't seen it yet, and I haven't seen Moulin Rouge, so I will give you
Moulin
those.
Rouge is commerce, not art.
You've seen everything already? You
Yeah.
flew there already? God.
Moulin Rouge I saw in
I saw
previews.
6.
Yeah,
I
previews.
saw 6 in London.
I loved
Who
6.
tops me on 6?
I saw 6.
Houston's nuts. I thought you saw.
I sent you to
You saw
6.
the Jamie thing. No, you saw me. You sent me to Jamie, but I went to 6 with a new gay best friend
Oh,
in
okay.
London.
Well, have fun with
Oh,
him.
Mitchell,
I
Mitchell.
love 6.
Okay.
But you
Love
heard
6.
Disney is going to produce Hamilton.
Yes,
And
October
Lin-Manuel.
15th.
I don't
but
care.
Lin-Manuel says the original cast.
I know.
Yeah, it's
But,
a
okay.
stage. It's just a
Okay,
recording of the
so
stage.
you don't need to go see it
version.
anymore.
No, but the actual for the actual
Original
film
cast.
too.
You mean it's not going to be
Yeah,
Cats?
yeah.
Hello.
Scats?
So let's take a moment of silence for Cats. No. Okay, but what I don't understand is why do they keep saying Wicked's coming out, which is my favorite Broadway show?
It's been coming
and
out for 20
when
years.
Where's my Wicked?
Okay, can I tell you a really funny story? And then we got to go. So I went to a Stephen Schwartz, whatever, and it was an intimate, Anne Calloway was singing, and I'm sitting next to this very friendly woman, and we're talking about Wicked, and Stephen Schwartz is literally sitting next to me, and I'm like, oh, you heard about the movie, and blah blah blah, and I'm like, they keep forgetting that Elphaba and Glinda are young girls, and they keep making the
25,
actresses older
30,
and older,
35,
right? It's like
40.
part of the fear is that they're so young, they're in college, they're in this whole whatever.
Glee
And they-
wouldn't make the cut now.
Well, it's
Right.
like Rent when they filmed that with
Right.
the original cast,
Yeah.
and they're 80.
So I'm telling this woman my whole thing and how they keep getting
And
it
I agree
wrong.
with you.
And then she's like, oh yeah, that's very insightful, whatever. And then she gets up, and I was like, she's very friendly. Who is she? It was Winnie Holtzman.
Oh my God! So
And Winnie used to write my favorite show, which was Once and Again with Celia Ward.
I love
love
that
Celia
show.
Ward.
I love Once and Again. Oh my God!
And Winnie
Where is Celia
wrote that
Ward?
show.
She was.
And her husband, Paul Dooley.
I know.
Yes,
she
he's
was
an actor, yep.
She was on Westworld, and then that was the best part
She
of
was
Westworld.
in. She had a part in.
She's so hot.
Was it Gone Girl that Celia Ward was in recently? That I guess it's
And
not
she was
so
in a
recent.
TV show, and she.
No, she was in Westworld. She played the wife.
I love her,
The
and I think she's
alcoholic,
gorgeous,
crazy wife.
and she's
I won't
still
give it
gorgeous.
away.
Yeah.
I won't
Remember
give it
her
away.
in Brothers and Sisters? No,
Yes. No.
Sisters.
No, sisters.
Sisters.
Yeah, it was
Susie
okay.
Kirk.
we can
But
talk about it all.
they all had F names.
Yeah. Okay,
Frankie.
so we got to get going. The show is brought to you by Straw Hut Media. You can watch and listen to every one of our now over 200 episodes on OnTheRocksRadioshow.com. New episodes every Thursday. Hello to our listeners around the nation on iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Roku, Pandora's new podcast section. Watch us on YouTube or Hear TV. Of course, we are streaming on the Facebook pages of Trending Now, GED Magazine, I Love Gay LGBT, and of course, On The Rocks Radio Show. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcast player. Like us on Twitter and Instagram @OnTheRocksOnAir. air. Send me an email. Book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will
Wait,
show
can
up.
I add that too? Can I go with you? Can we do it
Yes.
together?
Yeah,
Josh,
of
we
course.
all three should
I'll
do it.
do it.
Yeah.
I can marry you. I'm a minister now.
I'm a minister too.
And my
Yeah,
dad's a
non-denominational.
urologist, so I can
Yeah.
sort of do a bris.
Okay.
I mean, it works, sort of, right?
I might be calling you. I'm trying to enter a
I
new
will- I
like
will
dating
co-
circle.
If you have money, I will come to your house.
That's so awesome. So email us at info@ontherocksradioshow.com. But if you want to join me soon, I'm your host for Fight Magazine's 9th anniversary party at the Abbey in West Hollywood on February 13th in the evening. All are welcome. It's going to be a fun night. Go to thefightmag.com for more info. Also, I'm your closing speaker for PFLAG's regional conference on February 29th in Manhattan Beach. Go to pflagmanhattanbeach.org
MB has hot people.
for more. PFLAG? No.
No, MB has hot people.
Oh, yeah.
And they can be
PFLAG.
flipped to the other side. Trust me. I know this. I've dated all of them.
That is true. They're like 3 IPAs away from a hand job.
Honey, they're fluid as they come.
Anyway, we survived the halftime show. We survived the Iowa caucus. How are we going to survive Valentine's Day? We got you covered with today's guests. Get ready for their joint book signing and chat at Barnes & Noble at the Grove, LA on February 12th at 7 p.m. I don't know if a room can handle
Are
so
you
much
gonna
hot
come?
Jewish. Of course I'm coming.
You better come.
Yeah.
We'll probably go to Cheesecake Factory.
Yes,
Are you
we're
kidding?
coming
I
after
need my
you.
skinny-licious Tuscan chicken with no
Oh my
capers.
God, I eat that. I
knows-
eat that. That's my salad.
580 calories.
He knows the calories of
I
everything.
take the cheese out and the tomatoes out and I make it even lighter. FYI.
Oh, okay.
You don't
Sorry.
go to Cheesecake to eat light, people. Like, you don't.
No, the salad is huge, but nothing can top their ranch dressing. Nobody.
I get
Well,
the-
maybe.
I think Alexander
Maybe
could top
Wood
their
Ranch.
dressing.
Maybe Wood Ranch.
The Cajun Littles, it's literally 2,860 calories.
Do not look at their. They are
so
the
good.
one place that you can see everything.
It's so bad.
It's like it's scary, man.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, well, when there's transparency, it gets
Oh,
there.
and then they advertise the Godiva cheesecake. It's chocolate crust, chocolate cheesecake, chocolate like mousse, chocolate drizzle, and then a big piece of chocolate.
And I get the
Kill me.
Atkins. I get the Atkins version.
Oh, the low carb
That's when I go
cheesecake?
keto for one day a
Oh.
year.
No, but why? You're going to Cheesecake Factory. It's like going to Disneyland and being like, I'm not going to ride the rides. No.
I don't. I ride certain ones. I don't ride. Well, they don't have
Like
roller
roller
coasters where they loop to loop like Jersey style.
Yeah, no,
Like,
it's not
I'm
it's not
terrified
magic
of that.
now.
Well, and you're
Yeah.
from Jersey, and it's like, okay, let's formally introduce Patti Stanger,
Okay.
relationship
Yeah.
guru,
Hi, here I am.
third-generation matchmaker, reality TV phenomenon, is best known for Bravo TV's Millionaire Matchmaker and WeTV's Million Dollar Matchmaker, which she also executive produced.
Mm-hmm.
She founded her company, the Millionaires Club, in the year 2000, with over 100,000 members around the globe, helping busy men and women find their perfect match. Her bluntness continues to garner her infamy, which I love. She's gotten in a lot of trouble, but nobody can deny she has one of the biggest hearts in the matchmaking field. Prior to starting Millionaires Club, she served as 5 years as director, and I didn't even know this, of marketing for Great Expectations.
Actually, it's 8, but that's okay.
8 years.
Nathan, you screwed up. No.
For Great Expectations. And how did she become a fashion maven? Because we all pay attention to your fashion.
Oh my God.
Well, she spent 10 years in the fashion industry
Parents,
working for
mommy, daddy, Garmentos. Yeah.
for Union-based sportswear,
That's right.
Juju Jeans, Saks Fifth Avenue. Successfully branched out into acting, by the way, with roles of Drop Dead Diva, Days of Our Lives, movie commercials, and of course, Sharknado. We had
Oh my God, I forgot about Sharknado.
How can you forget about Sharknado?
I can't forget that because Scotty casted me, and I'm friends with Ian because Ian went to the prom with my cousin. We
Oh my
lived
God,
one
that's
town away
funny.
from each other. Yes, and so Scotty, who's the casting, actually I'm talking to him about doing some movies with him. He's a producer now, but he casted me. They said, okay, listen, just show up in one of your like hot dresses and I'll throw in a line. And he threw in a line, and it was really cute. Like I was a real.
I love how planned
I was
out these
really
sound.
serious
Yeah,
reporter,
yeah,
right?
very serious.
And Courtney Lopez was on with me that day, and we're like, "Are your shoes hurting? Let's swap." Like we were like so into it with each other, and so we're both reporters, right? And my
Yep.
line is like, "What have you been doing lately?" Blah blah blah. And they changed it. I had to go in ADR and change it to, "Are you single? Why are you single
Yeah,
right now?" They
yeah.
changed the whole
Yeah,
freaking thing.
yeah, of course
and
they
I
did.
was like, "Okay, like that's professional."
Yeah,
Like, we're
a
talking.
part that's been written for you after you shot it.
Thanks.
but the director was scary. Like you go and they had this like noise like from a crane, and they go, "Okay, you're coming around the side," and they go, "Key the noise," and the noise would come like it's supposed to be like a helicopter, and I'm like, "I can't see you. I don't know when to cue." So I would go, "Come here, baby!" Like I'm catching you. Like, it was so scary. Anyway,
We had Tara Reid on the show.
Tara's a piece of work too, right? I see her in Playa sometimes.
Don't know
Yeah.
her, can't
That was a
comment.
fun
I've
episode.
been to parties with her where they were weed etiquetely. Yes.
Okay.
She's skinny, man. Oh, I know, honey.
Anyway.
She's really skinny, but she's actually, I hope to God she got a good guy this time. That girl is like one of these people that I'd like to take out. Well, she had a problem in marriage boot camp, but I would like to take her out and do an intervention on her, and I will clean your fucking ass up so you will have true love by the time I get done with you.
She's had a resurgence. She has a good PR machine. Once we got her here, we had a fun time, but it's very interesting.
Is she like as good as Pamela Anderson?
I've never interviewed Pamela Anderson, but I went to her book signing and she was so gracious.
What'd you think about this marriage?
I mean, this would take
21 days.
Doing this.
Didn't she also date a get married to Girls Gone Wild too, or one of those guys too?
I don't know, but doing this podcast would take less time than her marriage.
You must Wicca this.
Anyway, but if you want Patti's advice in book form, check out Simon & Schuster Books. Become your own matchmaker, find your match, seal the deal, and raise your desirability factor in the DVD Married in a Year, all of which have a loyal, devoted following. Okay, don't watch it.
Read the book. Read the book. It's
read the
faster, it's quicker, it'll get you right there where you need to be.
And you can refer to it again.
I'm embarrassed about the DVD.
Make
It's one of those, everybody has something in your career you want to trash. That was it. Okay.
She also makes appearances around the nation, sometimes paired up with fellow Bravo TV alum Jeff Lewis, which we love. Two bitches together, and I love it.
We were bitches.
Yes.
We were bitches and he.
That's what I love. Please welcome Patti Stanger.
I love that we're just welcoming you.
Oh my God! Where's the Oscar? Can I have Brad Pitt to take home with me? I'm just asking.
Also making his On the Rocks return, Josh Sabarra, becoming part of the entertainment industry at such a young age. Been there, done that, rubbed elbows and more with every celebrity you can think of. Served as senior vice president for A&E Lifetime Networks, responsible for Project Runway, Drop Dead Diva, with New Line Cinema, spearheaded blockbuster film campaigns for Lord of the Rings, Elf the Notebook, Hairspray. It goes on and on and on. Disney, every movie you can imagine with Disney.
Wait, Hallmark. We are here because of Hallmark.
Yes.
Okay, get to Hallmark because you didn't even mention that
Love
I
those
produce
Hallmark
movies.
and Lifetime movies.
He
loves them.
Josh and I produce movies for Hallmark.
I will text him at like 4 in the afternoon. I'm like, are you watching Hallmark right now? Because she just said this and she shouldn't say this and they should have this.
Oh, you can learn.
I've seen every movie. It'll be July. I'll be sweating like a pig watching the holiday
Everyone's
Hallmark
pretty,
movies.
going back to a small town they don't belong to find their hot guy who eventually something goes wrong and they have to retrieve him.
Or their
that
royalty.
Is the game.
Or their royalty.
Well, it's still
the peasant dating the
royal.
royal.
They go to a country that doesn't exist.
Yes.
But anyway, Josh produces Nancy Grace movies, and we just had
a picture of him.
He produced Christmas movie.
Yeah, our Christmas love song.
And I produced Matchmaker Mysteries, which is in reruns. We're about to go into our second movie with Danica McKellar. That is my movie series.
I love her.
Based on my little life. And then I also have a new rom-com coming out with Josh, which we are in the middle of developing. We are producing together.
Can I please come
that
to
we
set?
sold.
We're going to be doing
that
this
we
together.
sold fast, so that was really
I
nice.
can come to set, right? Like I'm going to come visit you.
You got to come to Canada.
You come
it's
to
in
Canada.
Vancouver.
That's fine. You know why? Because the Go-Go Boys in Canada, they can be nude. Just so you know.
Oh, you mean there's no cunts with cokes? Oh, can I say that on this podcast?
Yeah. So you can say anything you want.
So it's like Florida, full frontal with alcohol, right?
Yeah. So that's why I'm going to Canada. I
I
have to
didn't
visit
know
you guys
that
on
was
set.
in Canada.
What?
I didn't know that you could be.
Now you're never going to find
Here
them on
you
set and be like, "Where's
drink-
Josh?"
Yeah, I'm like, wait a
You can only
minute.
drink
Now
Coca-Cola.
that I know this.
Josh and I are going out. When we shoot the movie, we are going out, right?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
going to take
But
me
you guys
out.
don't drink. What are you guys going to do? Like,
We don't need to drink
Hey,
to have a
look,
good time.
I watch gay porn sometimes because the guys are hotter. Just FYI.
straight women love gay porn. Anyway, we're talking about this all, but also watch.
I do.
Josh made a little cameo next to Nancy Grace in this last season.
Yes.
Christmas movies. If that wasn't enough, he also penned his best-selling memoir, Porn Again, by the way, detailing his eccentric childhood, his coming out, his early career in Hollywood, and his relationships, special appearances by major names in Hollywood.
There's good ones in here.
It is.
And I know one of them, so that's really, it's true.
But it's not a tell-all, it's a tell it like it is. Book was well received.
So
and his follow-up book-
which is more exaggerated, yours or Ross Matthews' name drop?
Oh, mine's not exaggerated at all.
Oh, there you go.
No, mine's like word for
I
word.
love when the gay community comes out and drops it. Like, I love it.
Yeah.
Because we can't do it. We're not allowed. You know, like Kathy gets crucified now. So it's very hard to talk about people like behind their back.
Well,
know?
I don't ever talk behind their back.
No, meaning like you're telling a
I just
story
say it
about
for
your
real,
life.
yeah.
But then, like, you got to get clearance.
But you know what I think?
It's very hard right now.
So Ross Matthews sent his book to somebody I know
I love
that
Ross,
he
though.
talks crap about, and then he sends her the book.
Did he know
And
that?
so they're not speaking right now.
That must be the publicist. I don't think he would do that.
But do you know what the
Ross
key,
is really sweet.
Do you know what I
though.
think the
No,
key is
he's not?
to?
He's so nice to me. I love him. Oh my God, the eyes are going.
But here's
Ross has always been very nice. We co-hosted a stage at Pride this last year.
Here's the thing: when you write nonfiction, when you do a memoir, the
Yeah.
key is for me is that you write something that is that people how they played a role in your life.
Yes.
You don't talk about them for the sake of talking about them.
But
I
you
don't
can
tell
you can
stories.
still get sued.
Sure, but I don't tell stories that
Because
are
you told something private.
Well,
But
first
some
of all,
people do
celebrities
write.
don't have the same right to privacy as non-public
Oh,
people.
we're gonna get in that subject matter. Okay.
And they would have to
Until
prove
it
that it
happens
was
to you,
malicious.
and you're famous.
They'd have
Hello.
to prove that it's malicious and that there were
People make shit up all the time.
And some people do write books just to have buzzwords out there and just to have it sold, rather than writing it from
Right.
a sincere point
But
of view.
my key is that anything
I mean,
I write.
my favorite one right now is Jessica Simpson. Let's talk John.
Well, I mean, she's getting.
Let's
tons
talk
of
John
press.
Mayer.
She can't read.
No,
How
I-
can she write?
She's
She
all
actually
over
the
with
writing
this
is
new
very
book.
well done. I read a lot
I
of
wonder
it.
who
Is
wrote
it a
it.
pop-up book?
You know who wrote it.
Who
right?
wrote it? No,
it's
I don't know.
probably the ghostwriter. That wrote
Well, no, but I don't know
my
who it was.
God.
No,
I'm sure
but
she
whoever
had one.
she had a good writer.
It's a scratch and sniff book. It's like, this is
but
Chicken
it's
of the
so
Sea.
interesting because she tells like really bad shit about herself.
Yeah,
she
well,
tells
that's-
really bad
Yeah.
shit about John Mayer, who everybody wants to sleep with. Hello,
Why?
Shoshana Bean.
Why?
Shoshana Bean. Shoshana.
Wait, I
can
John
tell you- I can
Call
tell
you some
Shoshana.
stories when we're
Call
off
her.
the
Just
air.
get her out of heat.
I
Get
love
her out of heat.
Shoshana.
I'll tell you a few things when we're off the show.
But,
But why John
he's
Mayer,
so,
though?
Because
He
he's
looks-
sexy. He has an X factor. My mom has
He's
that.
not sexy.
Very few people have this X factor. Like it's like if the devil showed up and you were hot, you'd sleep with him even though you know
Patty,
he's the
John Mayer
devil.
does not have a sex factor. He looks undernourished. He looks like he's never seen sunlight. He looks like he's always
That's
bored.
because he's a vampire, and we all want
See,
to fuck
vampires
vampires.
are sexy.
Okay, well, you just said he never saw sunlight. That tells you he's a vampire.
But he's like, I was gaming all day.
I heard stories where he like takes the guitar out and he's naked and sings Wonderland to people, and I'd probably sleep with him if he did that. I mean,
if
I
somebody
would at
sang
least
their
listen to the
signature
song.
he's got such a
No,
his
but-
voice is him and Shawn Mendes is my dream team.
Shawn
I want to have a
Mendes.
three-way with
That's
them.
so Vanilla
That's my
Ice Cream.
three-way. That's my three-way.
But
Shawn
don't you think
Mendes.
it's narcissistic to play people your hit song? I would be more impressed if he sang like Unchained Melody.
I don't
naked
think he's
with,
thinking like that. He knows the chords. He knows the tune. He's got a sexy voice. We know it's about
We
sex.
know what he has because
But I
it's
heard it's-
impossible.
but I
that
heard-
his
but-
personality
But I
is
heard
winning.
it's Jennifer Love Hewitt that the song's about. But even
Really?
but he called Jessica
I love
Simpson
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
napalm. Great sex.
Okay.
Okay, we have to take our first break. When we come back, we're learning all about who Patti Stanger is. We also are answering your relationship questions. And Josh, we're going to talk about your late coming out sexually.
Yay.
All right, when we
Yay.
come back.
I meant
How
to
late
sound more
were you?
excited. I was 30.
Oh, you were with women under the 30?
No.
Tell me that part.
Never.
Please.
I was a virgin till I was
Okay,
31.
you guys lean in because we have to take our mid-show selfie. You guys have to lean in. Josh, you're going to have to.
I mean, I can
my
only do
my
so.
little arms. Ah! Perfect. Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Okay.
Okay.
No,
Here's
wait,
the
come
thing.
back. And we're back. Now we're
we're
back.
back.
Yeah, okay. That's how we do it here.
Yeah, it's a quick break.
Okay, it's a podcast.
So, Patty,
forget
I
it's
want
not
to know. We're gonna
You guys questions?
we're gonna find out all about your relationship advice. We're gonna talk about what you guys are talking about.
It's
at Barnes
changed
and
over
Noble.
time, so I do evolve. I do evolve and grow. It is not a one size fits all. Everybody is different. There are no two people alike. Everybody's like a snowflake.
But before we get to that, I got so many messages from my friends, from our listeners, like, Patti Stanger's going to be on the show.
Correct.
You made such an indelible mark when you hit Bravo TV
Yes.
because of your
I owe them
personality and
everything.
nature.
I owe them everything.
And it's
Her candor, I think, is
I mean,
just
like,
so unique.
what
yeah.
was really nice about Bravo, because I wasn't on a housewife show, which I really wished I was. I wanted to be in an ensemble. I wanted to pass the torch and say, can I take a break today? Or let's all bang up on so-and-so, right? Who doesn't want to do that at least once and then
Right.
realize, oof, that's not such a good thing, because when you get in reunion, you really have to have your facts and figures.
yeah.
But Bravo let me, a short leash. They let me do my thing. They, actually, that's a long leash.
A long
but
leash,
a long
yeah.
leash. But they let me do my thing, and I had great people, Francis and Shari and Intuitive, Productions, Kevin and Michelle. And my favorite is my showrunner, Spike Van Riesen. Even though he was at the end, I had a great showrunner that kicked my show off, which was Catherine Vaughan. And these people really said, just do your thing. We'll put the camera up. So in the beginning, we weren't pretty. We weren't Rachel Zoe. We didn't have the bright light. When Rachel Zoe came out, everyone fought for the diva light. And Rachel gets a white one, and I get a dark one. I'm the devil. She's the angel. I was like, no, I want the white light. And then Lisa Vanderpump gets a pink one.
Yeah.
Like, who is she, right? And we all, got prettier and lost weight and got plastic surgery, and the show gets a little bit more overproduced. But in the early days, we really could kick it. But now you can. We've got social media that could scare the shit out of you. You can lose your job.
Right.
Well, and here's
people are afraid.
But Bravo is the best in the reality business for that.
And that was one of my questions because you took your brand, you established Millionaires Club in 2000, then you come to Bravo.
Yeah.
Not only do you have to keep integrity to your brand, but then you have a network saying, this is how we want the show to be, this is how we want it to fit.
There was a lot of things you didn't see. They wanted happy endings. It really took off when I yelled at the Millionaire and there were train wrecks. They'd be like, why can't we get a wedding? Why can't we get a happy ending? And a lot of people were sleeping with each other at the mixer, behind the scenes, in the bathroom.
I can see that.
So when Unreal came out, I got calls up the wazoo. Is it really like this? And my show was somewhat worse because it was only 2 people on every episode.
Wow. Yeah.
So we were manipulating 2 people, not 25. And so there was people like one time they didn't sign the waiver to go on the date and the girl hastily said, okay, I want $50,000. I'm not going on the date. And you're in the middle of production. What are you going to do?
So
right?
what happened?
We negotiated her, but the problem is that I didn't want the guy going on the date with her because I thought she was bad. And I had to step back and say, let Bravo do their thing. It all worked out in the end. It all tied up in a bow. And that's something that magically would happen. 2 guys would fight over the same girl and go, I want the same girl, and you can't have that. We have to edit. We have to cut to. So there's TV stuff. Then there's dating stuff. We had matches. We had marriages. But we didn't have like a reunion every year. So you never found out what happened to these people. We only had once. And Andy, I let go. It was the year he won the St. Louis Cardinals. And he was in L.A. And I said, look, we're going to come under. You're going to go watch your game. He loved me for that. But, I wasn't in New York, and I didn't have an ensemble show. So that was the only bad thing. I would have loved, I would kill to do an ensemble show today. Kill to do one.
Note to cast.
Yes, I would die, and I don't have to be the lead, but I will bring it in fucking reunion like nobody ever saw. I'm a lawyer. Everyone in my family is a judge and a lawyer except for my grandfather, and I would be like, we are bringing it, because it'd be so much fun to fight for like the right cause. Like I had to literally, like we were 42 minutes to tell a story. I had to screen the Millionaire and fucking flip him on the dark side, and no one else is doing it but me. So I got hated for it a lot. But a lot of times I got the cutest stories. After it would be over, the client would be miserable, who I really kicked the dirt to. Then they call me like weeks later, you changed my life. I found love. I listened and did everything you had. I have one girl in particular who came to my Jeff Lewis thing. Curly hair, wouldn't straighten her hair, wouldn't do anything I told her. She did everything I told her. A year later, she got married and had 2 babies.
Do you remember when I was on?
Yes.
The one time?
Yes, the one time. The one time. Tell the story if you want to tell.
Yeah.
Well, I did
not know.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, they
Undiscovered.
the casting person called, and
We were
I
supposed to make him the star of the mixer.
Right, but
And it was supposed to be a setup.
It was supposed to be a setup, right?
But
and
who
I walked
was it?
in, It was that guy. It was that New York guy who was like an art dealer, or his family was like an art dealer.
Yes.
And I was
it was
on
the
my
same
way
day
there.
as Perez. I think you and
No.
Perez. No, Perez didn't Perez have the other half of the mixer?
No,
I'm opening this
no.
other bottle of vodka right now because
No,
this is just
but I was
good.
on my way that morning, and you were like, "This isn't for you. This isn't for you." And I'm like, "Well, I can't."
You can't tell Bravo I told you that. I'll be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, sorry. Oops.
Because he was my friend. I'm like, do you
You're
really
like,
want
I
to
don't
go?
know. Yeah,
I-
like she wasn't. She didn't come out. She just was like, "Are you
Because
sure you
they
can make
must
it
have
down
said-
here?"
They missed
Like,
to switch the Millionaire. And what I also had was Madison on his mixer had slept with the guy 3 weeks before. Never told the
Oh, well,
show.
that's a surprise.
No, but it was like he
Madison slept with
but
everybody.
You don't understand. He picks the guy that I fixed the hair that's hot, but I had gotten the Latino, which is his dream guy, and he doesn't pick the Latino, and the whole show's going,
Yeah.
what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't tell you something, but I slept with him 3 weeks ago at some Abbey event or something.
Well, I just remember Patti saying to me, "Are
3
you
minutes.
sure? Are you sure you can make it? Like, are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yes, I made the commitment. I'm gonna do it." Like,
Yeah,
I
but
would-
when a friend tells you that, you know what they're saying.
I had
so-
to do like a little DL shit.
So I got
Yeah.
there, and Carson Kressley was
Oh, it's
guest with you,
Carson. That's who it
and
was. I
Carson
knew.
knew me.
I love Carson too.
And so I walked in. He's like, "What are you doing?"
But
The whole
Carson
thing was
is
just-
like the best because Carson, if I could do a show, I'd want to do it with him. He is sound bite king and
Yeah.
queen.
And such
he
a nice
slams
guy.
dunks, and he's the nicest.
He's like the
person
white
in the world.
Nene Leakes. That everything that comes out of their mouth is
But
like,
he's
let's give
but
that.
he's not mean. He's not mean.
No,
There's no meanness
no.
in his voice. And I was so in love with him. I was so proud that Scout put him on Queer Eye because I was so in love with him. Like I was, you get these people. Like he's one. Kristen Cavalier is another one. They'd be like, I tried this pilot. I can't get arrested. I don't know what's wrong with me. And they're waiting for the moment. And the moment comes. Like Ross had all these local talk shows that I had to go on. And I was like, you just wait, girl. You just wait. It's coming. And those 3 people have landed on top. I love when that happens.
I knew
that Ross hasn't been on top of anything in a while.
You know what I mean? That he's on such great shows.
Nancy was on.
Don't
Nancy
put RuPaul
Grace.
down. We have a RuPaul fan over here.
No, I'm not putting. No, I'm saying he's not a top.
Nancy Grace was on Dancing with the Stars the same season that Kristen and Carson were on.
Do you remember that story when she tells the story how her and Jay, this is the best story on my show. So I bring Jill on with Allie. Allie's a little overweight, a little insecure, doesn't feel good with the guys. She's still in college. And I said, I need the shredder. There's only one woman that I have a celebrity crush on. It's Kristen Cavallari. My showrunner did the Hills. He's like, no props. Brings her on. She tells the story. Look, you got to be bad to bad boys. You got to earn it. They got to earn it. So she says to me, I was going to Dance with the Stars. Jay didn't want me to go. And then we got into a fight. Said, fuck you, I'm doing it. And she did it, and he breaks up with her. But did he show up on that front row, the first episode, where she was only on one? And and
I think she was in a couple, but it didn't last long.
But it was so amazing that she tells the story of how she was like, if you're not playing ball right, I'm getting another ball player. Like, she's that strong. I love her. We call her the shredder.
Patti, I'm going to get a little personal, though. Becoming part of reality TV, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Not only are you dealing with fans who quickly become, your audience messages and all that, to dealing with other Bravo celebrities, you become and I discussed this with Brandi Glanville, there's this Bravo bubble that establishes, and you're kind of shut off from the real world.
You don't feel like yourself after a while.
Right.
Yeah, and I had a hard time with that because, first of all, I wasn't on a show with everybody else. So when we did commercials or TCA or upfronts, I felt like kind of lonely.
It is lonely.
And then Jill gets fired from Bravo, and she was my best friend. So it was like, oh, shit. And then on top of it, you're afraid to say anything wrong about someone because if you do, you could lose your show,
But then you're brought on to watch What Happens Live, and it's like, what's your opinion? What's your opinion? What's
right,
your opinion?
And then you're like scared.
Me.
Well, look, in the early days, I said anything.
Yes,
I
you
could
did.
And I said what I didn't filter my thoughts. Then later on, I started going, ooh, I could lose my job, and maybe I'm being mean to people. And I started to, I'm a very shock jock Howard Stern. My guru was Howard Stern. Say it like you mean it, and say the truth. I'm all about the truth. So I don't fake it to make it. But then you have to think, am I hurting someone out there in the middle of America? Am I hurting a community that I don't know too much about? But I got to tell you one thing, though. My largest audience was an African-American audience who I love to death. And when I'd go through the airport at TSA or I'd see them in the grocery, they'd come up and hug me and go, girl, never stop seeing it like it is. And that kind of kept me to be like, I got to be myself. So there's a fine line to
And that's
walk.
what I think why fans from Bravo still follow every move that you make because of
And
that
my
honesty.
and my gay community was huge.
Right,
Yeah.
because, and I know you got in trouble for saying some off the cuff comments
here
as
we
the
go.
gays. It's like, but why? It's so
wait,
dumb.
it
We
was-
know you're our hero.
No,
like,
I said something that was misinterpreted. A
Totally
guy
misinterpreted.
in the Abbey said to me, he was on Skype, and he said, I don't want to date anyone from West Hollywood that wants to have sex with me on the first date. And I said, honey, are you gay? Now, mind you, we didn't have fluid like we have bi out and proud. So I said, are you gay? And he said, yes. And I said, okay, well, your community likes to hit it to quit it. And I don't put you down because you don't have oxytocin in your body. So if I could do that, I would do it too, just to put a condom on it, right? And I said, and you too. Everybody needs to be safe. Let's not forget safe.
Wrap it up.
My brother, my oldest brother, who I never met, I'm adopted, lived 10 blocks away from me. He was gay and he died of AIDS. So if anybody needs to know about safe sex, this is a large community as well as promiscuous women and promiscuous men. How
about just people who are sexually active?
Sexually active, but more than one partner. I meant more than one partner.
Yeah.
So I said, you might have to have sex, then decide if you want to breakfast in the morning. And then someone edited it wrong.
Yep.
And Annie and I hugged. We said, that was the best show we ever did. It was Valentine's special. It goes out to the ether. Someone at some other network blew it up the wrong way. And I had to answer for it. And I apologized. And I went to GLAAD. This is the best part. I went to GLAAD. And I took less classes. And I said, what do you want me to call you? He goes, you can't call us the gays. I said, but Kathy Griffin calls you the gays. He says, no, we're the gay community. So now I only say gay community. And then they said to me, and there were 2 women and 2 guys. And I said, how many of you have had sex promiscuously on a regular basis? How many people are doing it now? They all raise their hand. I'm like, what am I here for? So it's like, but I took the lessons.
Right.
I took the lessons because my thing was, can you be monogamous in a gay world? Now in the
That is one of our questions,
in the
by
lesbian
the way.
world, the lesbians are monogamous, right? We know this, right? We're not making the L word
I haven't really
exaggeration.
done any research.
I
but
have.
sure.
All my gay friends, they meet, they get seriously involved, and eventually they move in. So all my gay lesbian friends are like very monogamous, and I'm depressed because I said maybe I should be lesbian because it's so much easier to get monogamy.
You would have no problems finding a date. But that was a question. So Thomas from Miami wants to know, does monogamy really work? Do you have any success stories of slut to saint from your...
Yes. My best friend in Miami, should I say his name? He's gorgeous.
No,
And
you
he is
shouldn't.
my best...
What's his phone number?
He's a decorator and he's dropped it gorgeous. Slept with his Brazilian hot boyfriend on the first date. They got married. Can we cry now? Can we cry now?
Are they still together?
Yes, they're still together.
And they don't have an open relationship?
No, they do not believe
See,
in
I
it.
don't
No, they're
believe that-
both Virgos.
I don't
they're
believe
both,
that
they're,
when-
I'm a Virgo,
they're
too.
germaphobes a little bit.
I don't believe that when you sleep with someone is indicative of how it's going to end up.
Well, no, that's...
I totally agree with you.
But see,
Totally
if
agree.
I did that... Okay, so let's talk about a girl. So a straight girl sleeps with a guy.
Right.
And we're all like, hey, we're both in it to win it. We're both having a good time. It's just a bit of fun. And maybe it'll lead to something longer. And then one day, 90 days in, 91st day, we have our first fight. He throws it down. He slept with me on the first date. Who else did you sleep with? You probably sleep with everyone on the first date. And we all have gotten that straight girl.
It's these little tricks.
You don't get that with the gay community.
Do you think that's why Steve Harvey says the 90-day rule and that you shouldn't?
Yeah,
that
what's the
women
imperfect?
shouldn't sleep with
It's
somebody
the
until the
perfect
90
phase to
Steve
be
Harvey said
yes,
that?
In one
true.
of his relationship
It's the
books, yeah.
perfect phase to
But
be
he expects it
imperfect.
from other people. Okay.
He's married.
But the men, every man, when they are super angry, we're talking hit below the belt mad, they will bring it up if you've slept with them. And I hear that with everybody. Nobody says she slept with me on the first date, but I'm the only one, because they don't believe it. They're like,
Right.
why are you sleeping with me on the first date? They'll take it, they'll
Right.
eat it, they'll
Right.
suck it, do it, taste it, whatever.
Right.
But then they're going to throw it back at you. So it's
Yeah.
not fair.
You
It's a
can't-
double-edged
You
sword.
can't eat your cake and have it too.
That's like especially. In fact, this is another question. We'll just get to this.
And
Because
by the
I
way,
think
gay,
it's-
I just want to be clear about something. I love the gay community. I
course
believe
you
you can
do.
be
There's
monogamous.
never been a question.
You can be monogamous in any community.
Correct.
You can be bi and decide I'm going to only hit one side of the street. You can be fluid and say I'm going to hit one side of the street. You can be gay, straight, pink polka dot. It doesn't matter. You choose your relationship destiny. And the problem most people have is they don't communicate and they don't make agreements. So when that tequila's flowing at the Abbey,
Yep.
I can't tell you to stop
Right.
with those straight boys at the bar that I would fuck. Okay.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So Sammy from Ohio says, "How do you broach the subject of what fetishes you are into?"
Oh,
and my follow-up
I
to
have a
this is
little
also
fetish. I have a little fetish.
and this is also this is the question I'm adding to is because when you reveal certain things about like your fetishes, it can come out at fights or when you break up and all of a sudden they're posting, hey, they like to dress up like a baby or whatever.
No, I think that's really wrong. And by the way, that
It
is
happens,
cruel.
though.
If you do cross-dressing or baby dressing or slashing or fluffies, and if you don't know what these are,
I
can,
know what
I
all
can
of
What
them
send
is slashing?
Remember,
So
I worked on
slashing
every
is
John
food
Waters
on 'em.
movie.
Secret Diary of a Call Girl slashing. It's food on top of the body where they lick it off.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, if you've done fluffy
That's a Friday night for me.
slashing, baby, you out somebody about their personal secrets, and this doesn't have to do with just sex. This could be something from their childhood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you out them, I do not want to see them coming for you. Because especially if they're Scorpio. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but also it's like, like how are you ever supposed to have intimacy
Trust.
with someone or
Trust.
trust with somebody if there's that risk? Like I do believe
I
that there's sort of
totally
an
agree with you.
unspoken pact that you make
Yeah.
when you get into an intimate situation with someone.
I mean,
that's their personal thing.
I believe, look, I like a little porn. There's a little porn stuff I like that's fetishy that I like
Yes,
to watch.
so
Doesn't
do
mean I want
I.
to sleep with the person in the porn. I like.
But why
I'm
not?
more of a
Yeah.
no. I'm more of an observer. I love to observe. I'm
Yeah,
more-
yeah.
But-
like I want to go to the box in New York.
But if you did want to
and,
have sex with that person, there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that either.
yeah.
I mean,
Some people
sex
like to
workers
watch
are-
their fetish
no,
and
I'm
that's
a,
enough
I'm
of
a
them.
watcher, not a doer.
But at what point in the dating process or relationship do you bring up these fetishes?
Well, okay, so here's the thing. You have to be in monogamy to feel safe. Now, that is something that you would have to take the ball here in the gay community to tell us how do we feel safe if we're experimenting. So experimentation and monogamy are two different things.
Yes.
When you choose your monogamy street, that is when you're safe to explore anything. Because now you've committed to each other. Doesn't mean you can't change your mind. It just means like we're together without anyone else. Let's try your fetish. Let's try my fetish because you can't do an experimentation. They'll hurt you. That will be a hurting thing. You have to be very careful of that.
So, Alexander,
now,
what was
that
it you're looking
doesn't
to
mean,
try?
Wait, hold on. That's a partner situation. Can you go to a swingers club, a sex club, fly to Germany where there seems to be a lot of that going on? Pornhub. Anyway, so if you can go to these clubs and connect with someone who's in the same place as you are, but you're not partners, that might be safer because you both are at the club and no one's going to out you. Like in Billions, in BDSM and Billions, when here's the most powerful man in New York and he needs mommy to slap him in order to get off and get a hard on, okay? He has a fetish. She's giving him his fetish, and she loves it because it's their connection. But then eventually she realizes she doesn't like the fetish anymore, and he can't get hard without the fetish.
So, but if you're dating somebody, you don't go on the second date say, hey, if you could slap me, then that would get me hard. Like,
no, if you were at a club, we're not talking about that. So you're at a club that does that. Now you're in the safe zone because everybody's doing it at that club. And no one's going to take pictures and post it unless they, a tabloid got in there and there's a celebrity. So you're in a safe zone to explore your fetish. That's why people join clubs, sex clubs.
Oh, yeah. So, but Sammy wants to know, when do you bring that up if you're actually dating somebody?
I mean, you have to, I wouldn't date, I would do it till it's monogamous. Monogamy is a safe zone.
But then what if you get to that point and then you're monogamous with this person and they will not explore that fetish?
You might, but then you might have to say, can I go? Do I have a free pass? Can I go to hall pass? Can I go to a club? Can I bring some third party in? Can we watch this together? And you might dip their toe in. So I would dip their toe in. Like if
that might be the fetish.
Like if you're into like FTM, if you're into like FTM or MTF or something that's a little off the beaten path. Okay, like watch it for a while.
But I don't think people consider that a fetish.
Yeah, they would be having sex with those people.
Watch. Well, is it a fetish? Well, my ex-boyfriend did that, so I don't know because he was straight. And I found it after I dated him that he used to date FTM at the airport, and it was a sad little story because I didn't know about it, and I only slept with him like once, so thank God. And long story short, his ex-girlfriend told me, and I said, so is that a fetish? I'm asking that question. Is that a fetish if he slept for FTM but we wouldn't have a relationship with them? What is that? Is that just mean? Because I thought it was mean.
No, it is mean, and I think
I thought it was mean to the women. I thought it was mean to the women.
I think they're in the closet about what they really want to be with.
And I don't like people that that won't out and proud they're transgender.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm
really
in
about
love with
fetishizing
Angel.
any group of people.
I'm in love with Angel from Posse, so I love her. And so she was my favorite part of the show.
Me too.
Because it was so
real. She can actually act.
Right, thank you.
She needs to give acting lessons to the rest of the cast.
And I was almost had Alexis Arquette on the show before she got sick. We were trying to get a transgender on because, it took me 5 years to get a lesbian.
Yeah, of course.
And so I don't like when people are not proud of the person they're sleeping with.
See, that's it. And so that's why, to me, that's not a fetish. A fetish is
I don't know
like
what
to be...
by the way, I'm not politically 100% correct here. I fix you up, but I don't know what's right, wrong, whatever.
And this is the thing. We're so hooked up on
I'm
Legos.
nervous. I'm nervous that I don't make a mistake and hurt somebody.
Well,
I don't want to hurt anybody.
No, but it's also like we're so sticking to labels and we're so ready to be angry at somebody. Like if you had that question, you said, is sleeping with F to M a fetish? No, it's not. Let's have this conversation. And then you leave here knowing exactly what rather than, oh my God, how dare you say that? You're awful.
But
and then storm off.
Every day it changes and I read everything. Like I said to you, is it LBGTQ?
We have too many letters.
P with the pansexual and F for fluid. Because I said, did they add those other letters? And I asked you before we started the show.
But one of the things I've said to Alexander before is that, everybody's talking about we shouldn't be labeling, and yet we have this tendency to over-label.
And if you don't mind label, then I'm not going to talk to you. That's not how we're building bridges.
By the way,
we have too many letters. Lesbian and gay, we have LGBT. Lesbian and gay is the same thing. If you are gay and you're a woman,
you're a
lesbian, or if you're a lesbian, you're gay.
Like, did you watch Tales of the City, part 2?
New one?
So I did. So it's a really great story because she was a transgender.
Yes.
So it's a great story, and the actress that plays her is
Olympia
a
Dukakis.
No, the one that plays her is a transgender. That's younger. The younger. Olympia's thinking about her life, and like there's somebody blackmailing her. I won't get into it. So the old gays and the new gays get together. The old gay community and the new gay community get together at the dinner table, and they're calling this one a queer and this one a queen, and the new gays are very offended, and they said, and the other one goes, honey, I paid for your dinner tonight at this table because I went through AIDS and I went through this. And you can change the words all the time you want, but it is what it fucking is. And so they're having a fight about it. And I called all my gay friends. And I said, is that something that's happening? And they go, yes. The young community is completely different than the older generation. And they're kind of not on the same side. And I was like, wow. because I didn't know that. Like I was like, I just thought it is what it is. But every day it's changing. It's not the same.
It's
every
funny,
day.
you know how like we were talking before the show. You're like, oh, are you part of the bear community? Because I'm a little curvy, whatever. People are like,
no,
oh, you
I
are.
meant the guy. I mean, because you were on
Right,
Bear.
right. But
is that Bear? What is it?
No,
Scruff.
Yeah,
Sorry,
scruff. But the assumption is because
Real women have curves.
Yeah, but it's like
I have curves.
like
34 double D
Girl,
naturally.
I can see them from there. Ow, my eye! But people assume because you're a certain stature that you have to be part of the bear community.
Right.
And if I don't want to go to a leather party or
But are you
have a hairy
otter?
back,
Are you otter? Because you don't look very
no,
hairy.
I am. But I don't go to like the bear parties and people are like, oh, are you ashamed of being a bear? It's like, no, I'm
Why
not
would somebody
ashamed.
say, isn't it what you
Do you know
want?
how often I get that?
That's so mean.
Because that's just not my thing. I don't want to wear leather and have a hairy back. Or like, it doesn't mean I don't appreciate the bear community or support
So
them.
am I supposed
Or
to be
might not be attracted to
Wait,
someone who
that's
is that.
exactly
Wait, am I
right.
supposed to be a cougar because I'm at a certain age?
Yes.
Like, it's the same thing.
Okay, so Patty.
Hello, Patty the cougar here.
So Patty, so let's talk about this. Body positivity, respect and equality for
Yeah.
women's roles in business and the household,
Yes.
diversity. These are all things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
How
And
do you,
I just care about health. I'm all about health. So like when I look
This
at Lizzo and I'm like, I want her personality.
Right.
I want her personality in my body. I have never met a woman
And
more
her confidence.
Confident, I
Where
know.
do you
Yeah.
get like J-Lo
Confidence is sexy.
Where's
but do you
the
think she goes
confidence
home
come?
sometimes and she's like, God, I should really go on a diet? Like, do you think
Not when she put the bikini on against Harry Styles. No fucking way.
that's,
she is
that's an
confident.
artistic move though that she knew was going to go
Oh,
viral?
come on. You have to do
But
it.
see,
to
I
know, you have
agree.
to believe it to do it. I want her confidence.
I
That's all
agree
can
with
say.
Patty in the sense that, you know, it's one thing to say I'm beautiful at any size, and I've seen people at every size whom I think are gorgeous
Jennifer
people.
Hudson losing her weight
It's-
to make her feel
It's,
better.
are
yeah.
you healthy?
Are you
And
healthy?
if
I'm
you're
all about
healthy-
health.
If
Yeah.
you're healthy,
I do not want to stress that
I'm
hard.
good.
I don't want to see you get arthritis or fibromyalgia, which is what Lady Gaga is going through. I don't want to see you have inflammation issues because you can't stop putting down the Fritos. Like, I want to see you. I'm loud and proud. Look, I'm curvy. I'm a size like 4'6". I got 34 double D tits, and on television standards, I'm not a waif. I don't have flat chest. I can barely close the button on my shirt every half the time.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. Clothes aren't fit for
I
me.
mean, you have like the perfect chest, but it's funny when you were doing the show on Bravo and WeTV, if you were to gain 5 pounds or lose 5
I
pounds,
was fat in the
it
beginning.
was on every headline.
I was big.
It was like if you did your hair differently, it was on every headline, and that has to be
But
pressure.
here's the thing. I was a fit model in the old Jean days. I was size 8, and that was a fit model. We were that curvy kind of look. And I was
Now
so
they consider
and
that
I
plus
was
size.
and then I was so
It's
happy that my
ridiculous.
African American girls were like going, girl, you know, like Nene, when I go out for dinner with Nene, she's like, eat as much as you want. Stop worrying about your
Yeah.
calories. Like she would yell at me.
But
Her and
she
Porsche and
also-
Kenya and all that would yell at me.
But she's
Yeah.
also reconfigured who she was when
Well,
she
that's
first
true.
came out.
We all gotta have. We all want to have injections. We don't want to do facelifts early. We all want more hair on our head. Hello, Kim Zolciak. We all want to have fake eyelashes
mentioning names.
and put injections in. No, but I mean, like every person brought something. Plastics. Look at what Kyle Richards.
Hey, you're
looks.
talking to the
Kyle
wrong- I've had
Richards
more
looks
plastic
so
surgery than all of
amazing.
them.
Kyle
And you talk about that.
Kyle
in-
Richards
in-
looks. I want to look like Kyle Richards, like so natural with the teeth and the hair. I think she's the most beautiful person
She's
on Bravo.
gorgeous.
She is
I mean,
gorgeous.
She
but
looks
I
like
mean,
Demi Moore to
I
me.
mean, Bethenny at the Emmys looked fantabulous. Like we all are changing as we change, and we're getting older. And then our poster person is Ramona. Nobody looks better than Ramona at that age.
And she's honest, like you know, like I said, I was
She's
talking
had a lot of
with
work,
Brandi
lot of
Glanville.
work.
She says you see yourself on TV, and if you have the means to do it, fix yourself
No,
up.
Ramona's
It's
really
up to you.
right.
Okay, but let's bring this question back. As a curvy girl, I'm still honest about what the gay community wants.
Right.
Like on Grindr, you're not supposed to say no fats, no femmes.
Wait,
no
hold on. Wait, go
racial.
slow. No fats, no femmes.
No, so like the moniker is like no Asians. Like that's
What are you talking about? No Asian.
no. That's so like there's a Grindr conversation. It's no
Asians
fats, no
are
femmes,
hot.
no
what are you
Asians.
talking about? Have you
But-
seen Crazy Rich Asians? I jumped
But
that
you've
guy
seen,
in 5 minutes.
But you've seen this on Grindr. People
They're hairless.
will put in.
love it.
And the hair that they have is gorgeous.
no hair in the chest.
So,
Slip and slide.
but this has been a header that a lot of people have put on Grindr, and so people have gotten.
Okay, this is terrible.
That's
this is
awful.
I
terrible.
don't think it's terrible.
No.
Wait a minute. Wait
you
a
think
minute.
they should say what they say because they should get what they want? Is that what you mean?
So that's exactly. If
Okay.
you aren't attracted to that, you're not attracted to that.
Well,
It
why do you
shouldn't-
have to say
But
it?
it's a hookup. Because
because
it's
you
a
could just
hookup site.
swipe
But why
left or
can't-
right.
but why-
When you go to a restaurant and you're asking for the menu, you order exactly what you want. You don't say, I don't want to offend the chicken because I'm going to have to stay.
Right, but the chicken,
that's not true.
You're dealing with somebody's
no,
emotions.
that's not true. That's not true. You go, well, the chicken might be offended. But you go, what you do is you go down the menu and go, I'm having the salad, I'm having the burger. You don't say, I will not take the chicken, I will not take the brisket before you order what you want.
But if you can't get excited by it in the bedroom, you can't.
Nathan
right,
loves
but
Asians.
then,
I'm not saying Asians is like this.
I love Asians. You kidding? I'm into Thai cooking.
Hello,
right now.
I dated a Japanese man.
Oh my God! Did you see Parasite? It's fucking amazing.
Oh my God,
I haven't
one of my
seen it
favorite
yet.
movies
Run!
this
Do
year.
not walk.
But you know what?
It
The
will
best
win the
movie,
Academy Award.
the best
You know,
movie
he never
this
invites
year.
me to movies, by the way.
The best movie this year, the best performance this year was Alfre Woodard in Clemency, and not one person
I've never
talked
seen
about
that.
it.
Okay, I will find it on Amazon. But in the meantime, Run, Don't Walk. It is a great story. You will never see it coming, and it is fantabulous.
Okay,
I didn't
okay.
know what it was about when I
loved it.
watched it.
I didn't either.
But let's get back to this. And so this question is also countered with the fact that you give very honest advice.
Okay,
in fact,
so
we were
if-
talking
okay,
about,
let-
like, if you tell, wait. Like, if when you tell a girl, hey, you know what, if you really want to catch that millionaire,
Okay.
you've got to lose 10 pounds, you've got to straighten your
Well,
hair.
that's because the millionaire wants what he wants. So, okay, here's what's happening.
But do you change yourself to fit somebody
yes,
else's ideal?
You won't get them. So, okay, so let's
Then are
talk-
they worth having?
Let's talk about this. So Nathan and I had a
can
conversation.
talk about this all day, by
Nathan
the
and I
way.
had a conversation about beauty. When you have beauty, it opens the door. You can be dumb as fucking rocks, and if you're drop dead gorgeous,
Yeah,
the
you
whole
can
world
get
So
by.
loves
true.
you.
Totally.
But
We've
you
all
can't-
dated people that
but
we
you
don't
can't-
even like.
But if you're brilliant, unless you get plastic surgery, it ain't happening. So what happens is the millionaires come in, and there's two kinds of millionaires. Okay, I'll tell you about
Yeah.
the two kinds. First is the zero. He never got the 10 in high school. He's the nerdy, unattractive, Danny DeVito type. Although I really love Danny DeVito. So
And
I
he's
gotta stop using his name.
We
I
had
just
his
can't
daughter
think of it.
in 2 weeks ago, by the way. Do you know how tiny she is?
I love her. I actually.
It's like the Russian
He's
doll
one of the
things.
best actors in the business. So I don't like using it. Just say an unattractive, overweight, losing hair man, and he's nasty. He's called the nasty nerd, and he expects a 10, if not a 12,
Yep.
especially if he lives in Los Angeles.
Yep.
So I don't want to use the word W or E, but those creepy types. Okay. Then you go all the way up the roster. The better looking the millionaire, the easier he is to fix up. The more he'll go lax on the looks. The 0-1s.
That's
So
very
when
true.
because what happens is a 10
Especially in the
guy
gay community,
has
by the
gotten
way.
every hot person that walked through. We had a
They're bored.
Right. It's not so much they're bored. They're looking for an 8 that will morph into a 10 in their eyes. So they're looking for an 8 with personality, intelligence, got their shit together, but they're pretty enough to make the grade. They may not be perfect classic looks, and then they morph in their eyes.
That's
And the
interesting.
athlete will take that person. And you never see the athlete with the drop-dead gorgeous girl unless the athlete's unattractive. See what I mean?
Interesting.
Except
So,
for
like-
Tom Brady.
Yeah, but that's different. That's
different.
That's a whole other ball of wax. So the point I'm making is there's two types of millionaires. There's the really good-looking millionaire who makes money, and then there's the not-so-good-looking millionaire. And these two types of people determine who they're going to choose. So if you come to me and say, I want to bag a millionaire, I go, what type? And then I have to model you to get it. So did you ever notice on Millionaire Matchmaker, every person that got a makeover got picked?
Yeah. Yep.
Because I know what the millionaire's asking for. I'm not saying go lose yourself in order to get a millionaire. I'm not saying that. Personally, I feel you get what you pay for at the end of the day, and he might go broke.
We're going to take a quick break, and we come back. You guys, this literally could be like a 10-hour podcast because this is fun. This is fun. When we come back, we are answering your questions. And we're back. Okay. We're going to do this little rapid fire style so we can get back to like the other thing. Okay. Oh, there we go. There's a rapid fire.
Is a fireman come with that?
Oh, God, I wish.
A hot one? A hot Manhattan Beach fireman?
All
I'm
right.
just asking.
So Sylvia Sage, she's an adult film star. She's also one of our friends. She asks, how can I expect someone I date to be faithful to me when it's my job to not be faithful to them?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a tough one. Her job is not like any other job you can compare it to.
Yeah.
I don't
And
think.
she's-
I don't.
But she's a catch.
She's the most powerful like businesswoman in that industry. She's one of the nicest people. She has
Yeah, but a man's ego is fragile. So the only way you can do it is if you date another porn star.
That opens up a whole can of worms. Okay, Teresa from Washington, D.C. She's a military wife. She's been married for 10 years. They have a 7-year-old kid. How do you keep the spark alive besides the standard schedule a date night once a month? For her, that doesn't cut it because you can't really relax because you're thinking about household still, parenting stuff,
Oh,
when
honey.
you have to get back.
Oh, honey, you need help. First of all, when you travel, Skype sex, if they let it in the Army, I don't know. Trump might take that off the table. Just saying. And the other thing is, I think women have to learn to detox 2 hours before the date. This is a little kind of like 60 minutes thing I do. So I say, like, okay, the date's at 8. You've put the kids down. The babysitter came in. Saturday night must be date night. Why is Saturday night date? Because you can sleep in on Sunday. Unless they have a game or something. But the bottom, as they age, it's going to get a lot easier because then they'll be able to be responsible for themselves and take their cereal in the morning themselves. But here's the thing. If you take 2 hours to primp and relax, glass of wine, occasional Valium, just saying, a little joint, whatever, wherever you live, provided it's legal in your state.
We have a card.
Okay, right, provided it's legal in your state. Then you come down. Now, I do TM, Transcendental Meditation. So I meditate before my dates so that my brain gets all the thoughts out. So your problem is with overthinking, I need to do this in the morning, I need to pick up the cleaning, I need to get the kids off to school, blah, blah, blah. That's your brain. Your job and responsibility is to get it reduced. If you do yoga, if you do meditation, if you swim, one of my friends swims, and she's a big swimmer in Miami, and that's the reason she's had this amazing relationship with her husband. They do date night every Saturday night. And I was like, what do you do? She goes, I swim right before I get primped. So it's like my brain shuts off. So whatever you have to do. So that's why men are athletic. Men get in the field. They play baseball, basketball, and they get the brain going. So you want to get the thoughts out of the system. That's why men can go right to hit it, quit it, because they know you're going to take care of everything.
Interesting. Ashley, recently divorced from OC, by the way. How the F do you start dating after a 10-year relationship of doing nothing, so you're so boring now, you hate talking to strangers and don't understand or want to do dating
Is this
apps?
your problem because you hate people, right?
No, my question is later.
No, I just want to know if the OC person is the same person. Okay, first of all, talking to strangers should only be somebody you think is attractive at the grocery store, like a good Whole Foods trip. Right?
Did we ever talk to anybody at the grocery store?
Well, last week, I got a guy following me around at Irvine, and I was like, why are you not asking me out? So I found out later through the girl at Irvine that he was British. And I went, and I just came back from London in September, where British men do not approach.
Yeah.
Josh, we know. And I was just really upset about it. I was like, well, how would I get him to come over if he's not going to, the signal and smile has always worked for 100 years. Like you signal and you smile. You look at him, you like, oh, and look away, and then you go, and you hold it for 5. That's a long ass time, right? It was not a long ass time.
That was really long, and I'm a little uncomfortable.
And if you and you got to start dressing man magnet. Red is the #1 color. Yeah. Solid red, no prints that men are attracted to. A good red dress, red skirt, red blazer, red shirt. Heels help every time. I mean, my ex used to take the shoes off the shelf. Thank you, Manola Blahnik, my pointy toe shoes, and make me.
Patty, I wear heels all the time. It doesn't help me.
Right. Okay. So you really have to become man magnet. Now, the reason is it's not just to get the guy. It's for you to feel your sexuality. And they're not in touch. Now, I say a good vibrator goes a long way. Long way. Nathan, what's the name of the company?
+1.
What? +1.com has the best vibrators.
I want to talk about dressing for yourself. So my grandma used to be a stylist to the stars.
Right.
She was always known
that's a
for
great job back then.
Well, and she did Dolores Hope and like Ava Gabor.
Oh
She was like Palm Springs. My grandma, when she walked into a room, you just knew. And like my brand is always dressing up. And for her, it wasn't to show off or to like attract anybody. It was to show respect for yourself and show respect for who you're around.
My mom was like that. My mom was a fashionista from New York. I mean, more black Donna Karan was in that wardrobe. And the truth is, she did it because she said it made her feel powerful. Yeah. But sexy is what turns you on. I don't think you're going to wear, Hawaiian shirt, cutoff shorts, and, high tops and feel sexy. You've got to bring that tight. That's why fitted clothes always look the best on television. We do not look good in blouses if you're curvy. Yeah. And so fitted clothes make you feel sexy. Show those girls and those legs.
Yeah. Stan Zimmerman, he's a writer. He wrote for the first season of The Golden Girls. He wrote for Gilmore Girls and Roseanne.
Can you write a show about me, Stan?
Well, here's the thing, because he blew up my phone.
Very nice guy.
Stan?
Yeah, he's been on the show many times.
Stan?
He actually pitched himself at the beginning of your show to be the first gay millionaire.
That's not my fault. I don't do casting. That's Intuitive's fault.
Well, I have to tell you, he told me, he said, you are one of the most intimidating people he's ever met. And
wait, he met me?
Yeah. He's met you a few times.
Wait, you mean he was on the show?
No, he never made it to the show.
Well, how
but
did he
he's
meet
met
me?
you and other.
Well, Stan, I'm really
I was
nice.
actually set up on a date with him.
Stan, I'm really
My
nice.
ex went on a date with him too.
Allie Willis set us up on a date.
Oh, Allie.
Stan, if
Rest
you
in
write a
peace.
show,
Although I had worked with him before that on something else, and then
You guys would never make it together. Two
Don't say
finicky
it. Don't say it.
Jews? No.
two Femi Jews.
And I mean that as a compliment, by the way.
Okay,
No,
Stan,
he's a great guy.
Not
He's a-
Femi, but like
Okay,
finicky.
can I
He's
get
a
my
great
pitch
guy.
in here, Stan? I'll tell you what. I'll take you out for dinner. I'll be super nice. Write a show on my life. I'm getting pitched a lot.
He literally will text me in 2
I'm getting
minutes.
a lot of pitches to do a show on my
Well,
life,
he's
and I'm
a
trying
good-
to find the right
He's
person.
an
He's
amazing
a
writer.
good guy.
I need a
Anyway,
really
but-
good writer. I
So,
need
so
a
his
good
question
writer.
is, he's very down to earth, which I can attest to. He's very successful. His friends tell him, and his friends are major Hollywood producers, say, don't take them to your house because it's super nice. It's in Hollywood Hills, blah, blah, blah. And he says, well, that is who I am. He's not putting on airs. It's just him. He doesn't want to date.
I wouldn't take anyone to your house until you know it's something you're going to, because there was a reason.
But Stan
and
hates to go out to like.
But Stan needs to get a hotel room and Stan's not poor.
But
Stan has Golden
he-
Girls money.
but
Golden
he-
Girls money is in
but
fucking
he's-
syndication.
But he
can afford it.
no, believe me. But it's not about the sex. His home is his comfort.
No.
And it's
Not
not
in-
to have
Oh,
sex.
and then when
He's
they
just
see
simply-
his
attracted-
house,
You
Yeah.
can, okay, you can.
Because he
you're
doesn't
gonna-
want to date somebody that's just trying to get famous through him.
Right.
So his question is, how do you counteract intimidation, or should he just give up dating and lean into his career more and the
No,
friendships? he's
no.
developing?
Okay,
No.
Uber to the date. Uber to the date. Okay. If you take a black Uber, they're going to know you got more money.
You guys-
So okay, Uber to the date.
love this episode.
Okay, Uber to the date. Okay, start with a drink. Bar date. No fucking dinner, no lunch, no brunch. Bar
I
date.
tell my
bar
friends,
date.
go on a bar date. They're like, no, you
one
need to do this
cocktail
now.
each. One cocktail each. You feel a connection. Okay, you feel a connection. Let him plan the next date. Let him make the next move, and that's how you
that
know
takes
you're
the
interested. And you
intimidation
do
away.
not show the home until you know it's a home fucking run, and get a hotel room if you're gonna have sex, or you go to his house, go to his dumpy place.
And Josh, I want your opinion
Because the
too.
minute they see you live in a big palatial estate, they're coming for you. This town has no money, these
Oh.
people. And I mean,
It's
I don't
awful.
mean
It's
by
awful.
gay people. I mean single people. I've seen men on Bumble with scooters at 50, living with 2 roommates and a dog and don't have a job. So this is a town that's creative, and a lot of
Wait
people
a minute,
are not
but
rich.
Patty, what if that person is also fighting for their dream, has had
not
major
at 50.
struggles?
Not at 50. I tell you, the game's over at 50.
Remember that guy that you set up with that eccentric female millionaire, and she like ran out, she left her shoe behind?
Yes, Shauna.
Yeah.
From Minneapolis.
Right, so the guy, he was very attractive, he was just too old for her?
No, he was famous. He was in all the insurance
he was
commercial
just
you
in a commercial.
see.
He literally
and
was just in a
date-
commercial.
And he dated Heidi Klum. He was
he's-
a volleyball player.
Silver Daddy? Tell me to
But
come to the other side.
but she didn't like gray hair.
Richard from Chicago, this is actually kind of serious. Richard from Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
At what point on a date or in the dating process do you disclose to someone that you are HIV positive?
Okay, this is something delicate. I'm going to need your help here, okay? Because it's no different, and I don't mean it disrespectfully, it's no different from herpes. Because how do you tell someone you have a STD?
How do you? I've
I don't.
never had to
well,
do that. Josh?
I had a boyfriend once who told me, and right as we were going to have sex, which was not good, because I stopped myself and I said, I have to call my gynecologist and find out how to protect myself. And it was true, and I really liked him, and I went out with him for 3 months, and we condomed it, and we did the precautionary
Okay.
measures. So if you're in pain or you got sores, whatever, you don't do it. Okay. Then the STDs, especially HIV and HIV. Is it HIV and HIV? Which is one where you
HIV
has
and
the virus?
The HPV. Well, there's HPV, which is
That's
the
us.
human papilloma.
That's
yeah,
us.
but gay men can.
Well,
that's an
really?
issue for a receptive
we have
partner.
men transmitting to us, and there's no test for the men. No test for the men, only us.
Yeah, no, I mean
The women, I meant
gay,
the women.
men who are receptive partners.
Did you
and
ever
by
see
the way, there
girls?
are women, there are straight men who engage in that as well.
Yeah.
And that is something that has.
So
to
I didn't
be
know
looked out
they're
for.
the transmitter, but there's no test to tell you if you have it though. I thought.
I think there is.
Well,
I
it
think
must
you
be
can test
recent
it.
because it was on girls and they didn't have a test.
wow.
Okay, so anyway,
That might be a little
I
irresponsible
think
on
you
their part.
really need.
I have
to,
sex in a full body
Okay,
suit, so I don't
so
know.
is there a way to get on a website for dating where you're all HIV positive? Like, is there? That would be a great
But why?
business.
But I don't know that it
I
needs
wonder.
to.
No, because it cancels each other out.
Yeah, but why? But there are plenty of couples
You're gonna
that.
look. Let me ask you a
That
question.
one
Are you
couple's
gonna go
positive
on,
and one's negative, and they
okay.
are able to.
Are
I
you
have a
gonna
lot of
go-
friends
are
that
you
are
go-
in a relationship that they're not positive and they're in a
Right.
positive
Okay.
relationship.
But how many
But would
dates
you
did
say
they
that?
tell you? How many dates did they tell you?
Well, before
I don't know this, I'm
when
asking
I'm
you
at
this.
the point where I'm ready to take my clothes off with somebody,
That could be the first date.
Could be.
Hello, it's
Could
when
be-
he's texting, I'm parking at the Grove, and he's taking his clothes
Could be
off.
could be the 10th date, but I always say, is there anything we need to discuss
Oh,
health-wise?
then that's fine. So he's
Yeah,
got
but
it.
you're being responsible.
Because they should know about me as
But
well.
young gay with the
Whether-
young gay
how-
community
my
with the
health record.
20-something,
They should want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
know.
yeah.
with college and young gay community would say anything. I don't know if that's what
Here's a-
happened. I don't
But
know if
remember,
that's realistic.
I was
if that's
born in
realistic.
1975, and I grew up in the 80s, so I was
people were
aware
literally
to be.
dying.
Well, we were. I was. You know, when '83 when it came out, I was graduating college, and it was the scare of the century.
Yeah,
And not-
because we didn't know.
What?
You look amazing.
I'm 58, yeah. So I was 83, and my mom was heavily into the gay community. All her friends were gay, and all her, you know, like when I watched
was a
Pose,
matchmaker too,
When
right?
when I watched Pose and I saw the body bags,
Yeah.
I lived on 72nd Columbus, so it was like it freaked me out. I called
Right,
Nathan.
'cause you lived
I
it.
was
You
crying,
lived
and
that.
the Hearts Island and all that. I knew all about that, but I didn't know about the ballroom scene. I didn't figure that out till later. But the thing that got me is because it was like they were treated so badly. Like they were not like, hey, we're gonna figure this out. And now where is it? Like, it's not cancer. Cancer. My mother died of cancer. Okay, so that is still alive. And look how we have the drugs. My assistant went to Magic Johnson's facility. He won the lottery downtown. I took him downtown there. I had a lot of gay assistants. So and I was nervous for them when they were, sleeping together. I was like, listen. Like so many people
now
won't
there
use
are
a
a lot of-
condom.
it's
So many people
become a
won't.
manageable
Well, even in
illness.
straight community, I can't stand guys that like pressure you. Oh, I have a vasectomy. I go, and where's your paperwork?
Right.
Where's your fucking paperwork?
Well, and like you said, the young generation
just-
just
they
doesn't know,
pressure
and they
us.
think that because of PrEP or Truvada that
What's
oh,
prep? What's prep?
So PrEP, this is what the young generation thinks of is like, oh, if I take PrEP, I'm never gonna contract anything. Which
So
is
it's a
not
precursor
right.
to cancel it out.
It's the theory is that you cannot contract HIV
Is
from
that true?
somebody.
It
That,
disallows it to take hold in the bloodstream. If you have to have taken it for.
So
you
it's
have to
like
take
the
it-
pill. It's
you have to-
97% effective.
No, it's actually they haven't. I don't think found a case in which it hasn't been effective.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
If
but
somebody
that doesn't
takes
mean you
it-
should be having unprotected sex.
Correct, but you have to take it every day. You can't miss a day because the amount of the.
Do women take it too?
Yes, yeah.
Because if everyone's fluid now and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
bi, they should be
Yes.
taking it too.
But
That's
but
an
vaginal sex
interesting
you have
thing.
to have
Well,
been
but
taking it for a certain. I think it's 21 days before it becomes effective during vaginal
Okay.
sex. I think for anal sex they say 7 days.
See, this is
somebody
why
needs to check this because I am not
this
a doctor.
This is why I like monogamy because I don't want these problems. I want to know that my guy. Now I can't prove that he can't step out on me, but I definitely want to have
Okay.
a conversation about monogamy.
Okay, so we have this anonymous from West Hollywood, and I got a really long email about this. This gentleman has watched you on TV for years and years.
And he should come to the Grove on the 12th of February.
I literally responded, I'm like, and I said, I'll even see you there, and I'll buy you a coffee, and let's talk.
Okay.
He found out his boyfriend of 5 years was cheating on him by checking on his phone, which we have to talk about if that's okay.
There's a TV show on YouTube that Howie Nadale's kids made where you swap the phone. And I watched it. It was the most amazing thing because the guy thinks he's set and he's hotter. He's hotter than her. They swap the phones. He goes in. He finds she's cheating. And no cocktail's going to save that. So I know what that feels like.
He found out that his boyfriend had a hookup planned at a hotel. He confronted him about it, tears, etc., the usual. I'm so sorry. Boyfriend said it didn't mean anything. Then he
What is
finds
this
out.
doesn't mean anything shit? You stuck your dick in someone.
Wait a minute, though.
Was it an open relationship?
I have been in that where I thought if you have sexual anything with somebody, it means something. I was late in gay sex coming out like you were.
Okay.
And I've been able to separate.
But you
sex
have to
from-
realize something. They had a monogamous relationship. This was not an
Right,
open relationship.
right.
So that violation of trust just happened.
But if
He
somebody
didn't
said,
ask him.
I just
He didn't ask her
did
to have
this,"
permission. He didn't ask her permission. No alcohol is a get out of jail free card, by the way.
No,
FYI.
that's
You
not even.
Whether
can't,
you're
you can't,
straight-
you can't plead alcohol when you
Yeah, yeah.
murder someone.
Straight gay polka dot. It doesn't matter.
So he found out even more from
And
snooping.
I feel really bad for
more
him.
around, which I don't think you should snoop on your person's
I would
phone.
snoop the shit out of it. If you were shocked that we're not perfect, I'd fucking take the phone and ransack that apartment. I would want to know everything about it. Who
After.
is
Yeah,
he?
yeah, yeah.
What
Okay.
happened? Blah, blah, blah.
So he found out that he had been fooling
Let's
around
be
with
real.
other guys, not relationship style, but just hookups for over a year.
Right. And
Here's the-
and by the way, My best friend, a female, had the same thing with her fucking ex-husband and found him on hookup site, Madison. What was it called?
Ashley
Madison.
How do you like sit down and have dinner with somebody when you've done that?
A sociopath.
That's what I don't
That's a
understand.
sociopath.
Here's the kicker.
Sociopath.
The one asking for advice, anonymous from West Hollywood, the one being cheated on, has sexual issues because sex triggers his drug addiction, and he has issues separating the two.
So he went back
Sex
on
is
drugs?
not really no. Sex is not really on the plate with the relationship, which is why this person, in his defense, has been cheating for a year.
Okay, there's
this
no
is a
defense.
really loaded.
There's no defense. There's no defense. He violated your trust. If
I
he
agree
had,
with that.
if he needed,
It's a trust
if
issue,
he
not a
needed,
sex issue.
It's not a sex
Talk
issue.
about it.
If he needed sex with other partners to fulfill his fantasy, so he took his mind off fucking alcohol or whatever he was doing, then he needed to have a conversation with you and ask permission. And if you said no, he has the right to break up. So that's what it was. Here's my problem. Again, back to communication. Nobody is communicating with anyone
Thank
because
you.
of the stupid fucking phone where you think you've
Yeah.
got friends on Instagram
Yep.
that you never fucking met.
Yes.
Okay? This has got to stop, or we're all going to be separate. Living in, well, we're already in a dictatorship, but we're going to live in some kind of, Black Mirror fantasy. Because
Handmaid's
it's not
Tale.
working. It's not working.
So, do you mind if I talk about porn again?
Sure.
You are very.
What if I was like, no?
But you're very honest, in which I love because I went through my sexual revolution a little bit late,
Right.
where I was doing things that I would never do today.
Right.
But you brought porn stars into the bedroom
Right.
as a way to explore with
I
your
dated
partner.
one, so I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
I dated one.
And I kind of did the same thing
Mm-hmm.
in my relationship.
But
and
they
it was
suck
actually
in
liberating.
bed. They suck in bed, I
don't
found.
know
A lot
who-
of
I
them
don't-
actually
I don't
do
know who
suck
you
in
were
bed.
hiring.
I
lot of them
actually
actually
dated
do.
one of the most famous ones, and he sucked in bed, and it wasn't me. And I went back to the history. I knew his ex-girlfriend, and I contacted her and said, "What the fuck's going on?" And he was in a movie where he couldn't keep his erection, and his wife was Janine's partner. You know Janine?
Janine.
Yes,
as
I know
in,
Janine.
What's his name? Who is she? The tattooed
Chantel-
guy. No,
Chantel.
but that married to.
Yeah,
She
Jesse
wasn't even
James.
Jesse James.
So they would only do female and female. Anyway, long story short, he couldn't get it up. I mean, and I thought it was me, and then I found out this was an issue. And everyone, he's handsome and good looking, and everyone thinks like they're gonna fix him. And I was like, I'm out. I had one time with him, and I was like, I'm out. You suck in bed. He jackrabbited me. What's with the fucking jackrabbit? Honey, do you not know where the clit is? Why do you think Beyonce says to the left, everybody fucking to the left?
That's
in her box to the left.
Yeah.
That's like gay sex is so easy. It's like it's there. And
So what is your question?
so no, but like you talk very honestly about bringing
Right.
somebody else in to
Right.
kind of talk about and
Right.
explore your sex.
There are two ways of looking at that.
Yeah, and I'd love to know.
Some people look at it as by adding that to your repertoire that you're cheating in broad daylight.
Yes.
Some people look at it as you're including your partner in your exploration. For me, I was somebody who was a virgin until I was 31.
Yeah, he's kicking at heels. He's kicking the dirt
I
up.
met somebody right away.
Right.
I started playing house right away, thinking that I could fast forward through all those things you do from 18
is
to
this
30.
you know who that I know?
My first
The one that I
boyfriend.
met?
Yes.
Okay.
And we
That was your first one?
yeah. So we
Simon.
Oh my god.
anyway.
He hates that this is happening. Okay.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
you're going to a
Patty
dark
knows him,
lane. Oh, look,
but-
here's the thing. I'm going to tell you right now, and not to interrupt, but 1 second. I'm telling a lot of personal shit that I would never tell because I love the gay community. I spent New Year's Eve with the gay community, and I never had more fun in my life.
Well, yes,
so I feel safe.
There is a story.
It's a safety issue.
The
I feel.
entire story about Gavin is in the book.
Okay.
And
Gavin.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because we're talking about relationship advice. Become your own matchmaker, of course, is advice. Josh, when I read this was advice to me because I had gone through some of the same things.
Right. Well,
Like
that's
you're
sort of the
identifying.
design.
And
Exactly.
he wrote it because younger gay community men will
Right.
come out and they will feel like, what do I do? But remember, they're also a subset of like you've never seen before.
But there's also a lot in there. Like I get a lot of letters from parents who say that they were able to see, they didn't realize the bullying trend, or they weren't able to recognize that
I've
their
seen
kid
that.
was troubled by some of these things, and that it has opened some parents' eyes to what do I need to be looking out for.
I don't know one gay man that hasn't been bullied, by the way.
No,
and
it's
I got to tell you, some of them
Because-
are really good looking, and they've been
Yeah, well,
bullied
that doesn't-
Because we're weird when
the
we're young.
Because if you played sports. Okay, so I got to tell you a great story. So last week I'm at Joe Kennedy's political raiser, and I'm really hoping one day he runs for president. I've never felt so much. It's John F. Kennedy reincarnated. It's really beautiful. And I was with Robert and the whole family, blah blah blah, and who opens the political commentary, which, by the way, Benicio del Toro stood next to me for the whole
He is my
I
dream.
he's
He is my dream.
He's 6'2", and I almost passed out. He kept smiling, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
He's
take
the
me
most
home.
beautiful man in the
so
world.
anyway,
Done.
who opens the political commentary? It was Jason Collins. They were roommates in college,
Oh,
and it was
interesting.
Joe that fights for rights
I
in
love when you're talking about
Massachusetts.
these men. You're turning back into like flirty
he
daddy.
and Jason comes out and he tells the story like he didn't want to come out. He was scared of the NBA, the whole thing. And Joe's like, "No, you have to walk for gay rights. You got to come out." And he tells that whole and I cried. The tears that went. And and then he talked about bullying a little bit. And I thought, God, no, sports guys, they must be like so bullied. Because once they find out, they're like, "You want me?" You know that stupid shit?
Yeah, but
"You
some
want
people-
me?"
but-
Yeah, it's like, no,
as-
you're ugly.
I don't want to fuck you.
Right.
You're not hot.
Right.
But
You're
as-
not.
They're
Right.
working.
But as obvious
Yeah.
as it is to you that this stuff goes on, there are a lot of parents, like kids who suffer in silence, who don't want their parents to know. They don't want people to
Right.
think less of them because they're being bullied.
Lesbians
I mean,
too.
There were
Lesbians
people,
too.
Oh yeah, I
Bisexual,
include
fluid,
that.
transgender, the whole freaking
My-
community.
You know, and people, I've had people like go into my dad's office. Like somebody came into my dad's office and dropped off a letter and left to talk to them about their parenting
Well, I
in
mean-
the book.
I mean,
which
look,
is,
there's-
so obviously it's affecting. You know what I mean? That's
Yes.
reaching somebody.
And
who,
also, it's also the sex talk that we have from our parents. I only had the gay sex talk with my mom.
What were you going to
last
do?
month.
Your mother's not going to. Why would first of all, parents don't even have the regular talk with straight people. Like I
That's
can't.
what we dealt
My
with.
mom was the only thing she said is you're getting birth control. I said why? She goes because you're adopted and your mother had you out of wedlock, out of an affair, and you are not going to be 16 pregnant on the street. Let's go.
but you
And
would have
she-
had an MTV show earlier than you did.
Probably. She took me to the
Oh
gyne-
my
in
God.
those days.
Look
she
where
took,
they are now.
She took me to the gynecologist. My gynecologist was very famous. He was the first one in Jersey that did legal abortions.
Oh.
And so he also got bomb scares at his office, and he committed suicide because they were trying to take his license away. So it was a really sad story because I really fight for Planned Parenthood and the
Yeah, I
rights of women.
donate to them
Like
all
I'm
the time,
terrified
yes.
if we get another rep
Yep.
on the fucking
Supreme
Court,
Court,
and
yep.
then we're done. Like we're done. This is over, and I'm terrified.
That's why I give
can't.
to Planned
Ruth
Parenthood all the
Bader
time.
Ginsburg cannot get sick.
Correct.
She cannot get
We
sick
need to
again.
keep that
Girl,
woman
I will
healthy.
drive you to the hospital. Like, whatever you need.
Like, girl, I'll massage those feet. So anyway, so the point I'm saying is like we had a community in Short Hills that was almost white supremacist. I'm not kidding. I was a Jew. There was like 2 Italians and 1 black guy. And my best friend was gay. And we all knew he was gay, and he's like, I'm going to come out. He was 16. We were in 10th grade. Is that 16 when you're in 10th grade? And I said, okay, let's do it. And I sat there with the come out. We had the intervention, and the father's like, can I have a cocktail? I already knew this. And the mother's like, well, why don't we have a sex talk? And they took him to his primary care physician. And the guy's like, what do you want me to tell your kid? Like, what do you want me to say? I don't know anything about this. And I didn't even know about tops and bottoms then.
Right.
I didn't even know anything. And I said,
Except
still
from the
don't
garment
know.
business.
right. I was like, I didn't know what to talk about it. So all I'm saying is like, we are just having the conversation now. Because who says
But
this
remember,
stuff?
I grew up with a urologist. My father's a
Oh, yeah,
urologist.
so he
so
knew
this
about
was
that.
dinner table conversation.
Yeah. But I mean, you can't really think that someone's going to know how to sit there and tell. My mother was like, I don't want to hear about it. Don't tell me. Just keep taking that pill. You know, that was what
Yeah.
that was the sex
That
talk.
was that was of the time, you
Right.
know.
All right, you guys, I cannot believe how much time
Oh, I
has
don't
gone
want it
by.
to be over.
Is
No,
it
no, no,
over?
no. We have to get to these listener questions because I promised.
Okay, go.
Christian, he crowns himself the king of Westwood.
Yeah.
Is having that spark with somebody
Wait,
necessary?
is he the guy that owns an underwear company that was on my show?
No, that's Andrew
That's
Christian.
Andrew
He's one of my
Christian.
best friends.
Okay.
He's been, anyway, we'll talk because he had his own things to say because we actually talked about. Anyway,
Okay,
I played the clip by the way when he was on.
He's lovely too, I think.
Yeah, he's
Such a nice
great.
guy.
I got a lot of underwear.
Is having that spark with somebody necessary for having a fulfilling relationship, or maybe a less exciting but more stable relationship better?
No. The person who has the stable relationship always leaves the other person eventually and says there's no passion. You don't want a 10-year
Can you say that to
haul.
this camera right
You
now?
don't want a 10-year haul, sweet cheeks. You want to know, look, sparks are relative. There's the spark when you're 20 and there's the spark when you're 50. They're not the same. You just got to get hard and ejaculate.
Perfect. Rylan, who was a cast member of Glee.
Wait, Ryan? Who? Right.
Rylan from Glee. This is actually funny. He's like, what happened to your bangs? He misses them.
Aw.
But seriously,
Andy, maybe get rid of them.
Is that true?
No, but I feel like Andy would make me get rid
So
of it.
the bigger conversation is anytime you get your hair cut, you change your style.
Yeah.
And we know that your style has changed a
Oh
lot.
my God, I don't even think of. I never get like written up on like blonde hair. I like to know it.
There
But
have
that's
been
great.
tabloid. Yeah. Everybody has to remark on that. You can't just like get a haircut, whatever. What kind of pressure is that on you as like a woman?
Well, right now I feel like I'm losing my hair on top, so I'm gonna get PRP or Exiomes to like grow the hair on top. But I live in extensions, which I know the French women this week don't. They have perfect
Everybody
hair.
has extensions.
Yeah, I'm like, please eat me. You wouldn't even show up on camera. You'd look like below Hitler. That flat top. So I'm gonna and I blonded my hair a little bit at the bottom, and I think I might do a little color weave in there. I'm thinking about it later. So we're going there. We're going to change
that's
it.
what you're thinking.
I'm thinking of going a little semi-blondie.
You had to, didn't you?
A little semi-blondie because I just need a different kind of guy this time.
All right. So this is my question. I would love for this to be you guys, I literally have pages of stuff we didn't even get to.
Okay, got it.
We'll
Who's the
come
celebrity that
back.
contacted me? I want to know who the celebrity was. You said there was a celebrity that asked a question.
Somebody from Glee, the Golden Girls writer.
Oh, is that a celebrity?
An
Okay.
anonymous from West Hollywood is
Who?
anonymous.
Wait,
Hello,
just-
Patty.
Wait, you tell me after?
Yeah.
Okay, who?
No, I can't tell you after. So my question is, I hate first, second, and third dates. I hate them no matter what you say. You aren't really yourself on the first few dates. You're pretending to be somebody like the best version
Have
of
you
yourself.
had the kiss on the first date? Okay,
there better be a kiss on
So
the
the
first date.
kid, some men don't like to.
Wait,
My
let me finish
ex-boyfriend
my
didn't like to
question.
kiss, but do you kiss?
Yeah.
Do you
kissing,
French kiss?
I'm Latin.
Do you don't peck? You French kiss?
I feel the other person, if the invitation is open,
Okay, if
I'm
you-
one of the best kissers
Okay,
in the
so
world.
And by
if you-
invitation, he means sticking
If
his
you
tongue in his
French
mouth.
kiss, it'll take off the edge. If you don't French kiss and you peck, it won't.
But I don't mean peck, but I'm like, kiss
If
on
you
this.
go like this, look at me. That's not going to happen.
No,
If
no,
you
no,
go
no, no.
here,
Anyway, but Patty, my question is,
Wait, repeat that. I didn't understand.
Patty, I hate
this is
small
small.
chat. I hate talking in Ubers. I hate talking on the phone. I hate talking at parties.
Do you like
It
texting?
bores me.
you like
I
text-
love texting.
Okay, got it.
But I want to get into this dating situation, date 5. Like, I want to do the watching Netflix. I want to go to premieres and events. I want to go on trips. I want
Okay.
to run
You gotta
errands
get
together.
past 5
Like,
dates.
I literally want to, like, do laundry together. I don't want to do the first date stuff. I don't want
Well, you
to.
don't like the beginning. You like the middle. You're exactly like me. I like the middle. I hate the beginning. So there's a beginning, a middle, and nobody likes the ending. So some people love the newness of the beginning, and then when it goes into, hey, can we go to CVS and stand online to get our meds, which is fine by me. The other person's like, ugh, the excitement's off. And that's why you get serial daters and first daters, one date wonders. So you don't like a one date wonder. So you.
I don't
like
want to
them-
sit there and have dinner and do small. I hate small talk.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Well, the thing is, you got to be flexible.
Even though that's
you
what you
gotta
do
be-
for a living.
You
But
got to be.
okay.
But I think that's
But
why, because like, I don't want to do
Who
it in my
wants
free
to talk?
time.
I go quiet on the date. I'm not. I have 2 personalities. I'm a Gemini, so I am completely chatty in business, and then I'm mute when I'm with a guy, provided I'm sexually attracted. If I'm not sexually attracted, I don't
talk.
shut up. 'Cause I
That's
wanna
how,
get,
see
I
now
wanna
everyone
get rid
knows.
Of them. Get rid of them.
Everyone,
That's how I get
anyone
rid of
who's
them.
dating Patty, she doesn't like you if she's talking, right?
It's so true. You can
You've
say
just
that.
given it
Will
away.
you say that on my new show
I
that's coming out?
absolutely will.
Okay, because you got to. Josh needs to be on that list. He's
Yes.
good. Okay, go on. Go on.
Anyway, so what am I supposed to do? Because we're told you have to do the first date, like coffee,
Okay.
drinks, whatever.
Are you nervous?
I
Are you
don't-
nervous?
I'm not nervous. I just
Then
I
don't.
have no interest.
Then don't.
I have
lead.
no interest in
Then
sitting there
don't-
like hello.
Then don't lead. Let them lead. Don't be the leader.
No, but I don't want to do 1, 2, 3
You're
dates.
gonna
I
have
want
to
to go.
You're gonna have to because you're not gonna know whether you're sexually attracted. So the drink date can jump to the laundry date if you do it right. So you can skip 2 and 3 and go to 4. Can you do
That's
that?
what I want to do. Yeah.
Okay. So like in LA, okay, everywhere in the world, what's a third date? Pizza and a movie, right? In LA, it's pizza and a movie and therapy.
Nobody in LA will eat pizza in front of their date. By the way.
Greenless.
Really?
It's a
Vegan.
joke.
Greenless, vegan.
I'm like, really?
You have
'Cause
that-
I eat whatever
you have
I
that,
want.
You have that West Hollywood pizza. Everybody gorges at 2 a.m. after the Abbey. What's that place called?
Oh, Kitchen
Greenwich
24.
Village.
He takes me to
Yes.
everyone. Anyway, so all I'm saying is you can switch one date, which is the secret sauce, is to spend the weekend and never let the date end.
See, that's what I would like a first weekend to go because.
So that's how you'll know you're in a relationship.
Because-
3 dates is merged into one because you can't stop. You don't want to not be with him. and they don't want to not be with you.
And traveling is one of the most difficult things. All right, I cannot believe. So we're going to do this. We're going to do rapid fire. You guys have to be rapid, and this is.
Did you already play that thing? I thought we did that already.
We did, but like
I think we
have
got
like
off track
6
like 4 times.
Okay,
guys, I have
let's
like
go.
42.
All right, soundbite. We're in soundbite mode. Okay, here we
go.
go.
Better at
Here we
this
go.
than I am,
Okay.
so-
Well, I'm Bravo.
Yeah.
I trained. Okay.
rapid fire, and it has to really be rapid.
Okay,
'cause
go.
Kurt has to go home to his wife.
Go
that he is.
home.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Worst date you've ever had. Rapid.
Oh my God, I had a stutterer. My mother fixed me up. She was the worst matchmaker. Can you believe it? My mother fixed me up with a stutterer.
I have a stutter.
Yeah. And there was a cocaine one too, but he was better because he offered. But anyway, go on.
I had somebody who I was actually wearing colored nail polish, and he just wanted to go to my house and take the nail polish off.
Okay, that's a weird.
That
one.
means he
into
wanted
it.
to go to your house,
He was
though.
into it.
Okay, that's weird.
Like,
He
he
was-
wanted to take that. He's like, I get turned on by the nails.
Okay, that's great.
Strangest thing you've ever done at a hookup's house or a hookup has done at your house. Strangest thing.
I think that was it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So you
I
actually
answered
brought
that
him to your
question.
house?
Well, I didn't realize that's what he wanted to do. And as soon as we got to my house, he said to me, "Do you have any nail polish remover?" And I was like,
I
"Why,
don't
you
know if
don't like
it's-
it?" He
I
said,
don't
"No, I
have
just get
string.
turned on by touching your nails." And
Okay,
I was like,
mine was.
I was like, "Do you want to do my manicures then? It's cheaper."
Mine was like trying to do the back door to me on a rooftop in Manhattan. And I said,
That's romance.
no, that wasn't romance for
I'm like,
no, because
that's
we don't have a
Alexander's, like,
prostate.
regular day.
And I literally thought, like, oh yeah, I'm drunk. I could probably do it. No, I couldn't.
Strangest place you've ever had relations.
Okay, mine was. Oh no. Mine was on Millionaire Matchmaker. But you won't know where. But you don't know where it is. Neither does Nathan. I've never done.
Mine. I don't know if it's really strange, but it was at the side of the hot tub at Ricky Lake's house.
That's not strange.
Mine was in a mixer.
But Alan Cumming couldn't get out of the
Wait,
bathtub.
mine was in the mixer bathroom, and the show doesn't
Really?
even know.
Well, now they.
I love it. Celebrity crush.
Oh, I have a lot
Channing
of them.
Tatum.
Oh, now I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt.
Oh, okay.
Shut up. He's from my generation.
No, he's hot.
It used to be.
There's no question.
It used to be
Hands
Viggo
down, yeah.
Mortensen until he had a child with an infant.
A red flag that you always see but you don't pay attention to.
Ugh, I have the problem. I know what it is.
What?
Hot guy with no money.
I would say somebody who says something flattering to me, to like the sort of emotional manipulation.
Oh,
Biggest-
that,
Like,
I
I
do
fall
that all
for it,
the
like,
time. No wonder you fall for me.
Biggest pet peeve with somebody. Like mine is mouth breathing.
Oh.
If you mouth breathe, I don't care if you're Brad Pitt. I just can't.
Biggest pet peeve would be somebody critical that just points to the flaws all day long,
Okay,
and you want to go
alright.
get these.
Mine
out.
is more a physical thing, is like nail biting and
Nails are a big thing.
Nail
for me.
Oh, we're
biting
doing
or-
a physical
nail
thing?
biting or
It could be whatever your biggest thing
dirt
is.
under nails, fingernails.
I don't like short men and bald men, but that's just for somebody else.
I'm short. Okay.
No, you're
All
not
right, you
bald.
guys. We're gonna
tan.
see you guys at Barnes and Noble
Right.
Yes.
Wednesday.
Right.
The Wednesday before
Can I also
Valentine's Day, the 12th of
promote
February.
my event after this?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so I have a seminar happening in March. What's the dates, Nathan?
30th through the 24th.
30th through the what?
24th.
Of March?
Yes.
How could it be 30th through the 24th?
I have to
He's
pee.
going backwards.
You guys, I have to pee so bad right now.
20th
Like
through
I'm not
the
even kidding
30th?
you.
20th through the
I'm on
Oh,
a new diet.
20th. So March 30th through 20. Wait, March 20th through the 30th.
We're gonna go back in time.
Go to infiniteloveandmoney.com. It's a 3-day seminar in Beverly Hills at a
Oh.
palatial estate where I will fix your love and money in
Can we
one
come?
weekend. Yes,
Oh,
you can.
I'm in.
Yeah, there you
Can
go.
we do a live podcast recording?
Sure. Done. Nathan, will you set it
I'm
up?
in.
Okay. infiniteloveandmoney.com. Everybody needs money right now, and everybody needs love. They're connected. I'm going to give you secrets that nobody knows about.
Does it include crystals?
No, none
Okay,
of that
good.
shit. It's not airy fairy. It's law of attraction. It
You guys,
needs
I have
to
to
be
pee so
thrown
badly.
away.
Go to pattyknows.com. I'm on a new diet, so I have to pee all the time.
Are you keto?
No, it's not keto. It's like a liquid diet. JoshSabarra.com.
Yes.
Okay, you guys. We're
You
seeing
can
Barnes and
go.
Noble.
It's fine.
We have 8-time Academy Award nominee, special effects makeup queen, V-Neil's coming on, RuPaul's Drag Race favorite, Mayhem Miller, American Idol's Effie Passero's coming on. On the Rocks is the place to be every week. Every new episode drops every Thursday. I'm peeing. Come look at our photos on Instagram at On the Rocks on Air. You guys, I have to pee.
Okay.
This has been another episode of On the Rocks. Tweet me and slide into my DMs on Twitter and Instagram at On the Rocks On Air. Find everything On the Rocks for free at OnTheRocksRadioshow.com. Subscribe, like, review, and share. Until next week, stay fabulous.